We've got a great show for you guys this week. Our headline topic was actually written by the one and only CEO of Linus Media Group. Oh, so I was going to say me for a second. No, I'm not anymore. Mr. Taryn Tong will be talking about the impact on our Creator Warehouse LTTStore business.
I didn't know it was written by him.
Some of the tariff stuff that has been going on. I will give you guys a bit of a teaser. Good news, our shipments are no longer delayed.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you were worried about placing an order, or if you were wanting to cancel your order for your commuter backpack because you were worried it wasn't going to arrive in time. No, we've sorted everything out, and we're like, dude, the fire hose is freaking open at our 3PL right now. So
sorry, Chewy said in chat, tariff tong.
In other news, we'll be talking about how hard it is to buy an RTX 50 series card in spite of the middling reviews. Things are flipping wild out there. What else we got this week?
Are you ready to risk it all? Framework has a RISC-V mainboard. Wow. I'm actually very interested. I'm trying to resist not buying one. I probably won't buy one, but I'm trying to resist not buying one.
You're not going to buy anything. What are you even talking about?
It's so interesting. You
don't buy anything.
It's genuinely so cool. I'm not going to buy it, but it's so cool. I hope you get one so I can use it. The future of tech channels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, why not? It's a main topic.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. You can buy one.
The show is brought to you today by Squarespace, Vessi, and DeleteMe, and of course our wrap partner Dbrand and our chair partner Secret Lab. Why don't we jump right into our headline topic to start things off, and that is of course a topic in our doc that is titled "We usually launch a product on Fridays, but." If you have ordered anything over the last couple of weeks, you might know that LTTStore has been working through some issues that are affecting shipments over the Canadian border. The TLDR, for anyone who's not following current events, is that tariffs and inbound shipment restrictions have been flipped off and back on like a light switch, and it has affected goods that are made in Canada, Mexico, and China, especially moving into the United States. Because of all the uncertainty, we've been in constant communication with our courier partners on options to get our packages moving that have resulted in several false starts and some delays in shipping out products. However, late this morning, we got the green light from our couriers that our shipments should be able to resume. However, this could be temporary. Our warehouse team has worked expeditiously all week picking and packing products. So just because we weren't shipping doesn't mean that there will necessarily be a huge delay in the actual shoving out the door of products. And we're trying to get as many packages as possible moving before the weekend. So that's before now, essentially. We want to make sure that as many pre-existing orders are in transit as possible before we launch any new products. So that's why we're not launching anything today. We did actually have something that was ready today, but we are not launching it. So we thank you for your patience as we work through this constantly evolving situation. And we expect the remainder of our commuter backpack orders and waves to be fulfilled within the next couple of weeks, which hopefully will be before any new light switch flipping happens around tariffs. I know there are a lot of questions about tariffs, and the delay in fulfillment is not how we typically like to operate, but we would kindly ask you to hold those questions for a few more days while our support team focuses on getting everyone's orders out. In the meantime,
which has been a monumental task.
If you have any non-tariff and non-commuter backpack related questions or concerns about your order, our customer support team will be happy to assist you at lmg.gg/contact us. Due to the volume of questions around recent changes to tariffs and global trade, customer service responses may be delayed, and we appreciate your patience. Man, it has been...
They're doing what they can.
It has been a wild ride. We were talking about this in the pre-show, but basically, I think probably multiple times every day this week, I've had someone or other on the team ping me either with a message or a request for a quick 5-minute chat to kind of update me on the situation. And I got to say, I've actually been surprisingly zen about it. I mean, this isn't our first rodeo.
No.
We know that a lot of gum flapping happens.
We've been in a lot more dire of situations as a company too.
Oh, absolutely.
Not for a while, but still.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Because here's something that I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize is the way that things were looking earlier in the week, the issue was not the 10% on China or even the 25% on Canadian-made goods for us, right? Because we're shipping out of Canada, and not all, but a lot of our products are manufactured in China. So it wasn't as simple as like, oh, okay, because they're shipping from Canada, that means 25% tariff, because it's actually down to the country of manufacture. And then you might say, okay, well, what, like 10%? Yeah, realistically, we could absorb 10%. The issue is not the 10%. The issue is that there already are tariffs on Chinese goods, Chinese manufactured goods, I should say. But a lot of them don't get applied because of an exemption, a de minimis exemption is what it's called, on shipments under $800. That's how companies like Temu exist at all. Because while those tariffs exist that would drive up the prices of their shipments that they send into the United States, they have an exemption as long as it's under $800.
So they ship in small enough amounts that it's under $800.
That it doesn't impact them. So the issue was not the 10% tariff. The issue was that it activated another, I think, 20+% of tariffs with no de minimis exemption. Of course, that would have caused immediate chaos because now all of a sudden the border would have been inspecting every single bloody shipment, which obviously they're not set up for right now. So they would have had to figure that out, which I suspect is part of the reason that this has been paused for now, not necessarily because they like changed their mind because they, feel differently about it now. So if I was going to give you guys any conclusion from any of this, it would be, if you want something from LTTStore, regardless of whether we're launching a new product or not, now's a good time to leave a merch message. You might want to leave a merch message. And that's not just us. That basically goes for anything manufactured, if you're American, south of the border in Mexico, manufactured north of the border in Canada.
And is below $800, right? Is that?
Yeah, especially that. Or very, very, very west of the border in China.
Yeah. I mean, that is a fair statement.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
Look, we call China the East, the Far East, but relative to what? I say we make North America the prime meridian.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So China's the West now.
So you're raising.
Europe is the East.
Trump was like, no, it's the Gulf of America, and you're like, well,
yeah,
I will raise the chips in this game.
Let's go.
Oh boy.
Destitute Radium says it's a bit of a rough time to be involved in keyboard group buys. Yeah, because by the time it gets delivered, you'll have no idea what the thing freaking costs.
Yikes. That's sick.
Dude, this is just, it's chaos. Basically, it's sowing chaos. And
someone in chat said their Vancouver-based company already did layoffs because of all this.
Really?
Just like immediate reaction.
I am extremely sorry to hear that.
I'm not incredibly surprised, but I am sorry to hear that.
I do have to say that I suspect that part of that
might have been something else going on already.
There might have been
a convenient situation.
This might be a bit of a scapegoat because as someone who happens to run a business shipping, manufactured goods. I mean, I don't remember what percentage of our customer base is in the US, but it's a big chunk.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's over 50%.
I think not by a huge amount, but I think that's correct.
We have only really seen an impact on order volumes over like the last 4 days. So if your company saw an impact on orders over the last 4 days and already let a bunch of people go, I would say that's kind of suspect. However, if your shipments are more based on contracts and so you're doing volume B2B over the border into the States, then I could see this kind of uncertainty causing you to preemptively
especially
cut
if you
expenses.
operate with almost exclusively American customers, which does happen in Canada.
And who may
There
have
are
called
companies
you
like that.
immediately when they saw these tariffs and go, whoa.
Sorry, brother, we're done.
Yeah, we're canceling our orders for the rest of the year. So that is a possibility. However, if you're B2C, business to consumer, then that raises some red flags for me.
A little bit less likely.
Yeah. All right. What else do we want to talk about? That was it. We got through that pretty quick.
A similar thing does happen though. Like a lot of the return to office stuff has been revealed to be
basically just trimming headcount because they wanted to trim headcount. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. That totally makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Back to standard topics. Should we jump into the... What should we jump into? What's different on this framework thing? Ready to risk it all, this topic?
I don't know.
Framework, insert disclosure. I'm just going to read this. I think it'll be fine. Framework.
Yes, I'm personally invested in Framework.
Insert disclosure about how Linus has invested his personal monies into the company. Cool. We did it.
They're a cool company.
Framework has made a RISC-V mainboard, which is compatible with the Framework 13 laptop. It features the Star 5 JH7110 processor, which has 4 Sci5 is I think the way you're supposed to say that. U74 cores. The board comes with 8 gigs of LPDDR4 soldered memory and uses microSD/eMCC storage. It's available for $200 freedom dollars.
For now.
That, to be clear, is the main board. Meaning you could build something out of this yourself, or I believe there are compatible chassis, the Framework 13 laptop chassis. So you would have to buy other stuff around this if you wanted to turn this into a laptop.
Or you could huck it in the Cooler Master mainboard case.
Sick. Or you could do that.
Yep.
Or you could just like 3D print a case for it. Like you don't have to do the other bit. Wait, hold on. $200 freedom dollars. Oh, that's Canadian. Oh, that's fun. That's very fun.
So there's a couple things to note. It was built in collaboration with Deep Computing, and this is very much a developer-focused board to help accelerate maturing the software ecosystem around RISC-V. We recommend waiting for future products if you're looking for a consumer-ready experience.
It's so cool, though. And some people have pointed out that this was announced a long time ago. That is true.
Sure,
I think the reason why we're talking about it is because you can buy it.
That's right.
It's here. It's a real product. It sounds so cool.
I have zero regrets about investing in Framework.
Sick.
I have no idea what my stake is worth. Narav offered to look it up and tell me. And I was like,
nah.
Sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like something you have better things to do than.
Yeah.
So I literally don't know. But I am really impressed with how
the point was to make money off it.
With how they have taken additional investment and, as far as I can tell, have not lost their soul.
Yes. That's not necessarily the easiest thing to do.
No.
And not because we don't have experience with that, but if perceptions of, even knowing people that have gone through those rounds and hearing the difficulties that they have.
The kind of pressure they're under to turn a profit at any cost.
Yeah.
At any cost.
Or not even turn a profit, to force an increase of user count for whatever reason, or to do something that isn't really the thing that they actually want to do.
Because a lot of the time, the investors you have now are ones that you may rely on again when you do another round of funding. So if you are not listening to them, or at least making them feel heard, that could hurt your chances of survival. I am so glad that we've never taken outside money. Every time I hear stories about it, I'm just like, ugh. Like I have a relative that is currently operating in burning investment capital mode, like they're not profitable. And it's like, just like seeing the kind of stress that they're under to reach the next milestone, to show something tangible so that they can do another round, so that they can survive a little longer, is like, ooh. Terrifying.
Yeah, it's not. We went through similar but more different terrifying things.
Oh, 100%. There were definitely times when
lost various opportunities and stuff.
Well, yeah.
But I would take this road again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like we could have Man,
it's not always an option for everybody either.
no, and it's not. And I think it drives, I think there are cases. I mean, yeah, they say, money's the root of all evil, right? And I think there's a lot of truth there. Like, I think even good people have been driven to do very questionable things. Like, okay, if we were on the brink of survival, I was joking with Luke about Dropcoin again, because I saw that stupid... what was it?
Dropcoin. Its value is going to drop.
Yeah. That company that came up, rose from the ashes to basically just do like a crypto grift. Enron. That's right. Thank you. So I saw, we were looking at the stupid Enron coin, and I was like, it's just free money. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Yeah. If we were not morally opposed to this, like,
it clearly, repeatedly, over and over and over and over again works. People just make some complete BS coin thing.
Yeah.
People get ripped off on it. And then everyone goes, oh my God, how could this have happened? And it's like, bro, can we stop?
So tell me this. If we were on the brink, would you be more receptive?
If we're on the brink.
If I was serious about that, if I was like, okay, what if we just find a way? Because we've talked about this on WAN Show in the past, whether it's like Dropcoin or Linus Coin, or I think we've pitched Rug Pull Coin as a name for it at some point. If we were on the brink of, because remember, it's not just me, it's not just you. It's look around. Every person surrounding you, even him, could be gone if we don't survive. If it was down to our survival, would you consider it? Would you consider the VPN?
Ooh.
With the moral quandary that exists for you, because I'll get you guys caught up. We pretty much developed a VPN.
It was ready to go. It was like actually pretty good.
We killed it.
We were proud of it. It works well. We kept using it for a little bit. We don't use it anymore.
We killed it because neither Luke nor I were comfortable knowing that at some point we were going to know that someone using the service did some stuff.
Even if it's not logged, it's still happening. We
could still know. There are ways that we could know. And we would have to say we don't know.
It's also like pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, I know.
Which was the real kicker for me. We talked to a lawyer about it, and the lawyer basically said, like, whether you like factually know or not, you know, because this is what people use this. This is one of the many things, and there are things that are fine, but this is one of the many things. My VPN must not save logs. They can still know.
Yeah. Because you'll still get notices delivered to you. Like the encryption.
They might not be able to attach it to you, which is probably what you want. But that also means that they can't attach these things to other people. So like you can watch your little show and be protected or whatever. But that other person can look at content that I think, in my opinion, morally right people would be horrifically disgusted about the fact that they looked at, and you would know that that's happening on a network that you are supporting. And it's like, man, I don't want to do that. Yeah. So we bailed out. But man, we ran the numbers, dude. This could be a different world.
So if we were on the brink of survival, knowing that we already exist in a gray area anyway, because it's not like we don't promote PIA, our sponsor, we just didn't want to be the ones.
We didn't want
to be the ones who actually have to say, no, I'm not going to tell you who that is.
Yeah.
No, I went out of my way to delete that, even though I know, I know people are using it for this. We just didn't want to have to be the ones that had to do it. Would you reconsider your position if it meant survival? He's thinking. He's doing a think over here.
I feel like on the VPN,
yeah,
it's a maybe. Just because it's not like we're making it more accessible for those people.
No, realistically,
there are
it's already
so
out there.
many out there
That is such a slippery slope. That
is
argument,
a
though.
very slippery slope.
Someone's got to provide the heroin.
Yeah, there's a very.
Someone's going to do it, and that's
I'm just
the
thinking,
thing.
like, do we add another VPN to the pile and save 100+ jobs? Like, this is the scenario you're trying to lay out for me.
Yeah.
Do we just? I'm reiterating it for the people in chat.
Yeah.
Do we add another VPN to the pile and save 100+ jobs?
Do we think
not,
our
and everyone
existence?
loses their
Do we
jobs?
think PSU Circuit is a like net good in the world, and we're using it to buy carbon net good credits or whatever?
If we're using it to buy carbon credits,
no, net good. It's a joke.
I know what you mean.
Net good credits.
I'm just saying.
So that we can
carbon credits thing.
run our VPN or whatever. Like, the world is morally questionable and morally gray.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm not even necessarily looking for an answer from you.
The coin thing, I think my problem with the coin thing is it is proven every time this happens that people just will never figure it out.
So then someone's going to make money off them.
But I think that's different. I genuinely think it's different because I don't think there is what is the possible benefit of making another, I don't feel like pressing the button, another crap coin?
Oh, the possible benefit is gambling. Like
Rich.
Top Gear 1224 on the float plane chat says, the reason these cryptocurrency scams continue to perform is simple. I bought over $1,000 of Doge when it was 0.0002. I sold at 0.001. If I held until 0.75, multimillionaire. It's that chance that drives people to gamble hard. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Important reminder to call this as hypothetical. Man, I don't disagree with you, Bixby. We probably should say yet again that this is hypothetical.
Yeah.
But I would also appreciate if people just relaxed. It's so obvious. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. That was a good call out. I should have just done that. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I really wish you weren't right. It's ridiculous. I'm so tired.
What are you saying? You don't want to be like canceled again?
Yeah, kinda. Just like to chill for 1 week. I got like anxiety because it was Friday morning. And I was like, wait, when's the world gonna fall? The world hasn't started falling yet. I need to be stopping the world from falling. How do I do that if I don't know what's happening? And then...
Oh, you just needed to be briefed on all the tariff stuff. Then you would have known the world was falling.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess just a different form
No, we
of
were
falling.
at the point where it looked like in order for us to ship into the States, and it is a really good thing that we delayed our shipments, that we stopped pushing out the door, because if we had...
You would have been hit by because the exemption wasn't through yet or whatever?
Well, I don't think anyone knows exactly how it would have gone.
Sure.
But basically, by holding on to them until the de minimis exemption was restored earlier today, we know as they're going out that everything's chill. But looking at the worst case scenario, goods that we were shipping into the States, we could have essentially had our entire margin on them wiped out. Or you guys could have seen retail prices as high as, I believe the numbers they were throwing around at me was like 35 to 40% higher or something like that. Like way.
Because of the stacking, because of the tariff from China, then the tariff from us, then the de minimis going away, everything.
Not quite like
compounds.
that, but basically.
I don't have full understanding.
Yeah, multiple factors stacking on top of each other.
Yeah.
Really yikes.
And to add another thing to the coin conversation.
Sure.
I think I was telling you about this yesterday. I've heard I'm going to screw up the quote, so I apologize, but I've heard a quote from Coffeezilla that is something along the lines of like, ironically, scamming people is still scamming people.
Okay, crazy pitch.
It's like,
and you know this is coming because we've talked about it already.
Oh no. Oh no.
What if we collaborated with Coffeezilla on the most ethical coin?
How do we possibly make an ethical... I do wonder, like, is there a line there? Like, can you make... Because I pointed out to Linus. Linus had never heard of this. I pointed this out to Linus.
GW says, scam me, daddy.
Well, I pointed out fart coin.
Yeah. Do you mind if I throw up your laptop?
I'm still loading it.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
It's down 7% in 24 hours. Yeah, throw it.
Here you go.
I've heard people talk about this for a long. I am really not into crypto stuff. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I own zero crypto right now.
I own zero crypto right now.
So to make of that what you will.
Yeah,
we are just coming at this as ignorant, bemused observers right now.
Yes, we know nothing.
Yeah.
But like, this has been around for like a long time. This isn't new. Can I get a bit? Oh, here we go. Let's go back like a month. Look, people have been actively trading this. Let's go back a year.
Yeah. Do you have the little like green and red line thing? Is that just down below showing the trading volume or whatever? Okay, not on this one apparently.
You're thinking of candlesticks.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, candlesticks.
Perfect example of we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like people actively trade these shitcoin things. So like, can you make one
that is
fine,
completely transparently a coin?
Yeah.
That might rise and fall.
Maybe you can.
I don't know.
I know people talk about.
Coffeezilla would know.
Yes.
Have we ever actually talked to him? I know we've talked of him, and he's made videos about us.
And we bought his shirt. I don't think so. I don't think we have. I suspect his answer is going to be like, no.
Well, that's the safest answer for like his brand, regardless of whether he actually thinks there's a way to do it because he's been so publicly against them.
We could never get him to like endorse it.
Oh, no.
No way.
I would never ask.
Of course not. But I do wonder if maybe the guidance isn't even for us, right? Maybe the guidance is just out there. Because it could also be used as like, if this new coin that shows up does not align with this guidance, avoid it.
Interesting. I would watch that video.
I would watch it too.
I would watch Coffee talk about what the ethical ICO would look like.
If there even is one.
If there could be one.
Because I feel like there might not be.
What would a theoretical
I just don't know anything about
ethical ICO look like? Because I can definitely think of actually valid and valuable, blockchain applications, even a token, right? Like if we were
going to do that though?
Like, okay, say for example, we were to, I don't know, create a token where if you watch, okay, there'd be technological hurdles that we probably couldn't clear, but I'm telling you, so this is the theory. So we made a token that if you watch more hours on Floatplane or interact a lot or something, then you earn the token and you can use it for a discount on LTTStore.
So it's like whatever those. I also don't use Twitch a lot, so now we're talking about two things that I.
So it's almost
don't
like
know.
an attention token, which would be somewhat similar to what like Brave browser does.
So that's a thing on Twitch, as far as my understanding goes. And people are going to say I'm wrong because I have no idea what I'm talking about, which is true. But I think if you watch streamers on Twitch, you can gain these certain types of points, and you can.
Oh, bits. This is just Twitch bits.
No, I don't think it's bits.
Is it not? What are bits?
Channel
again?
points.
Channel points. Okay.
Because then you can exchange those for like I don't know. Do you know? Stuff.
Emotes.
Sure.
You can do text to speech stuff. It really depends on what the streamer sets up. Bits are like micro tips.
So it's set up by the streamer. So you could exchange it for things.
This doesn't fix the rug pull that I think you guys are talking about, which is where you launching the coin own most of the float and then can just dump it and manipulate.
What's a float? Is that the initial amount that you make the coin?
Come on.
Okay,
Dan.
the U.S. Treasury
has
the U.S. Treasury holds so much money in circulation in the economy.
Yes.
And when they print more money, the value of the money goes down.
Yes.
So if you guys launch a coin and there's 1 million coins in circulation and you release 20 to the public to buy,
and we hold,
and then you just
ones.
sell a bunch when it's high, and then the market implodes.
So
that's my rough understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
So would an ethical ICO be one?
It's just launching a normal coin.
Yeah,
you would just be launching a coin, and it would just be crappy, like most of them.
But an ethical ICO would initially offer the entire supply, and I would keep none for myself.
You would need to be able to prove that, though.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if that's possible. That's above my understanding.
Shouldn't that be possible?
I don't know.
Dan is correct, says Top Gear.
Yeah, please correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds right.
I'm not entirely sure if this is completely accurate. Things might have changed, but this is my understanding of how coins work. And so a lot of the rug pulls are basically, we don't own anything. Haha, JK. Actually, we have 10,000 alt wallets.
I don't think so.
They have it hidden on.
I thought you can tell how much they have as a float.
I think they can state, but then they could also potentially have. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Yeah, it's very, very difficult, especially because Blockchain is a concept, and each coin has its own ledger.
Yeah.
Right.
We should. That's another thing where if you did decide to, if you decided that you found a way to do this ethically and you decided to do it, we'd need a significantly better understanding of what we're doing.
Oh, 100%.
Before we tried to do it.
I think being ethical is just not manipulating the stock price or the coin price of your coin.
We would also need a way to prove that we didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know enough about how the initial float is distributed.
Because you'd have to
Eraldo says depending on the blockchain tech, but yes, you can absolutely prove who owns what on the chain at launch.
Oh, good. Then just do that.
So if we do that, it's ethical?
But then if you do that, what's the point?
Well, then you rug pull it because you told them that you're going to do that. So Linus owns 1 million coins, and then you put 10 up for sale. I have 1 million, and here's 10, and then people trade them, and then you pull it anyway because that's what you said you were going to do. That would be ethical because you explained that you were going to...
I don't think so. I think it's back to Coffeezilla's point. Telling someone you're going to scam them or getting scammed for lulz is still getting scammed.
It's still getting scammed.
It depends on what you think is ethical, because if you just want to launch a real coin, is that technically ethical? I mean, we have the concern of all the power usage, and
I think we would have to. I think we would have to have a valid use case for the coin. I think we would have to have a real purpose for it. But then it's not
a shitcoin. Isn't that right?
Well,
what that terminology really?
That means that it's like a altcoin that's not Ethereum or one of the big ones.
It is anyways then.
Like some random garbage thing that may be a legitimate coin, but nobody really uses it for anything, and it's mostly just crypto bro trading garbage.
I don't know.
Okay. You can make a lot of money with those, a lot of money with those.
Oh, dude, I know. You can also lose a lot of money on them.
Yeah, like my $350 Bitcoin, which are somewhere. I mean, we've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Sorry, Dan.
That's okay. I sleep at night now.
Fartcoin is
notice
down
he doesn't
61.
say well.
Yeah.
I sleep now. Yeah. No, I've been doing this in 2009.
Fartcoin's down 60% in the last month.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. If you're talking about your investment pyramid, your crypto stuff is up here, where you maybe put $500 in, and then the bottom is just banks.
Right. Yeah.
It's the highest
controllers.
The highest risk investment that you could possibly make.
Someone in the pre-show pointed out that my gold Xbox controller has gone up by what do you say, 85% or something since I bought it. Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I'm not necessarily convinced at this time that there is an ethical way to launch one of these, unless you give it good, proper utility.
What if the utility was...
And even then, I don't know enough to really say, but I feel like that's aiming in the right direction.
What if you could redeem Dropcoin for early access to products on LTTStore?
What if you could use it to buy stuff on LTTStore? Then you would assign an actual monetary value to it, and it would be pegged against the US dollar.
But don't start talking. You're not talking about Tether and stuff now, are you?
Tether is what real currency Forex is, and all coins are technically tied to Tether.
Didn't the whole Tether thing blow up at some point?
I don't know.
Or is Tether still not...
Money is fake, Linus. Money is a concept.
Not fallen down yet.
Anything that has a potential value, like your gold controller, is technically currency.
What about eggs? Now that's an investment these days.
Egg controller, let's go. Sticky.
Oh boy.
Egg coin, yeah, sure.
What are we supposed to be talking about at this point?
I don't know. Why don't we do some merch messages or something?
Sure. Buy some merch with Dropcoin. Well, I hope Dropcoin isn't a real thing. Hold on, let me just make sure Dropcoin isn't a real thing before.
Oh boy, are we accidentally endorsing something?
Oh crap. I think it's a thing. We were joking.
Oh no.
Is this real? I can't. Number 5,658 in category meme. We lack accurate trading data. Okay, I don't think it's real. I think it's just
whether it is or not.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just stay away. It's the 5,658th most popular meme coin. Please, no, stop. We have nothing to do with that.
Hey, Trump coin's down.
No, I'm serious. I winked there as a joke. But
That means it's on sale.
Don't
We have
do
nothing to do with
that.
it. No, we have nothing to do with it. It's not us. I didn't even know it was real.
My goodness.
AJ Guy says investing my life savings right away.
Stop, Linus. You're going to destroy my portfolio.
Please.
Insider trading. You did it. You didn't put crypto in the handbook.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
I didn't even write the handbook, okay? I've never read it.
That was too real, Dan.
Cool. Now I can start putting plugs in the WAN show.
To be clear, someone has. Yvonne has read it.
I'm pretty sure that's all included.
Okay.
What are merch messages, Linus?
I don't remember it.
Right, merch
I
messages.
think you did the announcement.
Yeah, merch messages are the way to interact with the show. And if you've ever wanted to know if it's a good week to send a merch message, this is a good week to send a merch message. You might want to pick up a commuter backpack like now if you want to get one, because we have no idea what is going on with tariffs and trade wars and all of that beyond the next very short period of time. And over the next very short period of time, our warehouse is running overtime to get as many orders out as possible. That's why we didn't launch anything this week, because we're working to clear out the backlog. So get an order in for a commuter bag or anything else you like on LTTStore.com. And while you're at it, in the cart, there will be a message or a box to send a merch message. That's how you interact with the show. It'll go to producer Dan, who will pop it up down there, or who will reply to it with his little fingies, or who will curate it for me and Luke to address. Dan, why don't we show the people how it works?
Sure. This one here's from Jacob. Planning to order the big LTT backpack, but was curious. Is there a version 2 of it coming soon? Is it best to hold off?
We would love to revise the OG backpack at some point, but what I will say is that currently we are not even at the design stage of a revision. So we haven't drawn it, we haven't sampled anything. So with that said, it will be at least 6 months away, probably more. Product development, it takes time.
2.5 years.
That was only the screwdriver. That was just that one thing.
No. 6 months plus 2.5 years. Any estimate that you give.
Mean.
Was the badminton center opening?
Oh, Dan's wrong.
Yeah,
All the
was it
courts are
open?
in.
Yeah?
It's open.
It had an official launch?
I mean, it's open. People can buy memberships right now. We have, between Play memberships and premium memberships, we have over 500 members.
The gym's not done. Does that still count?
What do you mean the gym's not done? We're waiting on like 2.5 pound weights to go
that
on
matters.
the thing.
It's not done.
People are using it right now.
It's not done.
Yeah, people are using it.
It's not done.
Nothing's ever done.
People like it?
Yeah, they love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, actually, I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on the gym. Luke helped consult on the gym at Smash Champs, and the reviews are in, and people flipping love the gym.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
There's some things. I was like strong arming and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I feel pretty strongly about this, but we'll see what other people think.
It's really good. I've had people say like, it is shockingly like real gym for like a
you
racket
really
sport
wouldn't
club.
expect it. If someone told me there was a gym upstairs at a racket sports club, I'd be like, okay. There's like
a treadmill,
and a couple random assorted dumbbells in the corner, and that's it. Maybe an exercise ball, but then we have like an actual real one. Do you watch fitness YouTubers? And then named some. Yes, I do. Both of those actually, and many others.
Here, let me see if do we have any pictures on the Facebook page? That's kind of where we post our stuff.
Dan was closer than you were.
Oh, 100%.
I still feel like I'm right, but I can't say why.
100%.
Luke knows why, and
go.
I've been smiling all weekend.
It's changed a fair bit since then.
Give me a second.
So don't bother commenting like too much about it. There's a couple more cardio machines, and all of this stuff is like completely shuffled around. But yeah, that's the gym.
That picture makes it actually kind of hard to see some of the equipment.
I know. Yeah, it's not a great picture. That's okay. All right, Dan, hit me again.
Next, I'm over it. As a fellow ADHDer, This phrase of yours hits close, but I often feel guilty admitting I've lost interest in X, be it just after 3 minutes, an hour, or a month. Ever felt similar?
I did, but now I'm over it. I have, as I have had less and less time in my life, I have more and more embraced clear, honest communication. Like Luke has experienced this numerous times, where we're like hanging out on the couch or like standing, chatting at the door as he's leaving. I'm just like, I'm tired and I need to go to bed now.
Which is completely fine, to be honest.
Because people don't know when a conversation's over. They don't know when to leave your house. They don't know, if what they're talking about is a mutually interesting subject unless you tell them.
When you're a kid, it's easy. My mom's going to pick me up at 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I leave at 9. And then, especially with people that you have frequently stayed up until like ridiculous hours with, now it's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Who knows where the line is? So you just lay out your lines. You're like, because it really, for me, it's about saving effort and brain space for the other person as well.
I don't even think about it.
Like I asked Yvonne something the other day. It was to do with like cash burn rate on some endeavor or other, and she goes, "Oh, well, I would have to check in with the accounting department, and then I would have to check in with the manager, and I'd have to do this and I have to do that." I'm like, I'm over it. Like sometimes it's not even my disinterest. It's a matter of me weighing
That's a lot of your time.
My level of interest against the amount of effort that you are telegraphing will be involved in it.
Yeah.
And so,
if anything, I'm trying to do that more. I don't take offense by it at all.
yeah, I find some people don't get it though, and they think that I'm just like trying to be nice or something, but for me, it really is about clear and direct communication. When I say I'm over it, I mean, do not burn a single additional cycle on this. Give it no more thought, because I won't.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who asked.
And one of the ways too is like, if you're someone's employee and you're receiving that type of communication, they are clearly communicating that they do not value you spending your time on that, which is not good.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste your time working on that. So if you go and then do that, then it will very likely be seen as a negative thing, not a positive thing.
I actually get probably more frustrated than I should when I say...
I think that's true.
When I say, don't... okay. I had something a little while ago where I was like, hey, I forgot X in place Y. If person A happens to be going by there, could they grab it for me? Otherwise, do nothing.
And they'll go way out of their way.
And I had multiple people reach out with these roundabout plans for how they were going to reunite me with item X from location Y when person A was not going to go by. And I'm like, I proactively... for the sake of complete clarity, said, if condition A is not met, take no action. You ignored my explicit instructions, which is now costing me additional time and brain cycles, mitigating the wheels that are now in action to take these actions that I didn't want and I explicitly said I didn't want. Please don't. Please, if I say don't do something, please never do it. But you know what's frustrating, right? And this is why I acknowledge that I get sort of irrationally frustrated by it, because so many people are not like me and do say, oh, don't worry about it. But what they really want is for you to show how much you care and how you're willing to do it anyway.
And that's super annoying, but what you're doing is kind of like the opposite of that. You're just being more open, which works.
Yeah, but they can, but tonality is hard. especially
Yes.
in text.
Yes.
And depending on people's relationships in the past, they can perceive someone's actions a completely different way through a completely different colored lens, depending on those experiences. So the exact same words coming from two different people can mean the exact same thing. When I say those words, I mean, do not take this action. When someone else says those exact same words, they can mean, show me how much you love me by taking this action, even though I told you it's okay. And so people get this completely different interpretation, and that's something that we just have to deal with. And so, like I said, I recognize that it is something that I get irrationally frustrated about.
Yes.
And so I try to be, I go out of my way to try to be more patient about it. But I know that what I'm feeling is not rational, but it doesn't change that I feel it, because I've had that conversation 500 times.
I've
Not with that person, but 500 times total. And that's the baggage that I bring to the situation.
Yeah. I had I've told you this, I've told a bunch of other people this too. I use ChatGPT often for communication, but I don't use it to write my communication. I use it to get feedback on my communication. So I'll like send a message or an email or something that I would be sending out to ChatGPT, and I ask it for a sentiment analysis, and sometimes I'll give it more prompting than that. But more or less, I'm doing a sentiment analysis. And I told someone on the labs team, I'm going to keep them anonymous, that I was going to send a angry email to another company that I will also not name, because I was like fairly enraged about a thing that was happening.
Nvidia. I actually don't know. I think he'll laugh regardless, so it should be fine.
Yeah. And then, and I said I was like sending it right now, and they were going to be CC'd on it. So they were going to see when it came out. And then it didn't come out for a while, and then like a few hours later it finally came out, because I wrote it up and then didn't press send and read it myself and was like, ooh. And I cut the email out. I went and worked on something else for a while, let myself just like kind of chill for a little bit, and then I rewrote it again, and then I put it into ChatGPT, and I was like, ooh,
still angry.
It's still angry. let me keep working on this for a second. And then I finally sent one out, and a little while later they sent me a message, and they were like, that was a lot more chill than I expected. I was like, yeah. Yeah. I just had to reframe that a little bit.
I don't know. I think I'm in my zero fucks given phase, and I just like kind of write angry emails when I'm really angry.
I still do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on the scenario. Depends on how understandable the situation is.
Yeah.
Because in this one, I was very frustrated because of the impact on our side. I
also
understood how it could have been going that way from their side.
But yeah, it also depends on whether the person you're talking to had any control of the situation.
Yes.
Like,
and this person, I feel like, did have a lot of care and was trying to get things fixed.
Yeah.
So like raging at them was genuinely not going to be helpful to anyone.
Whereas if it's clearly a malicious action and that person has a high degree of control over the situation, my patience is a lot lower.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How about
Luke being really angry is unsettling. The channel's super fun when it was unleashed. What channel's super fun?
I'm not sure.
I don't think I've like really been that way on camera that many times.
Yeah,
There's
Highlander.
the hike. There's the a bunch of people at the mountain. Yeah, there's that one. Oh, that is the channel super fun that you guys are talking about?
No, that's not a channel super fun though.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know what they're talking about.
This is the face. This is the face of a man who is extremely put out.
Yeah. It's fine. I genuinely don't know what channel super fun you're talking about though.
There was the time you like chased me and pretended to be angry. With
I wasn't
the water,
actually mad.
Yeah, the water balloons or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually fearful. It was just really funny.
It was fun. Yeah.
Oh, when they robbed the Langley house. Yeah.
I was in on that,
No,
though.
you were in on that one. Sorry.
was fake.
No, it was Burkle who was extremely angry.
Yeah, and I was feeding off that energy. I ran with him. I remember, so what you guys didn't know at that time was that I lived downstairs. And
So I couldn't have pulled off the prank without him being an accomplice.
yeah. And if I remember correctly, Burkle had this inkling that they were trying to flee out of like the downstairs. So he like ran.
No, he didn't have an inkling. He saw.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We had, right.
Because one other member of the team was also in on it, who's not on the team anymore. But they were in on it, and they played the role of like the robber with like a thing pulled over their face so that no one would recognize them, and like booked it out the back of the house.
So Burkle went to go like chase after them, and I was just, that energy was awesome. So I just went with them, but we went through like my area, and so I had to like open doors from and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, let's go!" And I was totally with it,
dude. I fear for anyone he would have caught.
Oh yeah, Burkle was ready to go.
Well, you know, he punched me at the end, right?
Oh, I don't remember that.
It was only in the arm, but it was like not soft. Yeah, I think he just needed to get that energy out.
Probably.
And you know what? I don't even begrudge the guy. Like, it hurt. But like,
all right.
I earned it.
I'll take that.
I earned it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Crazy thought. When would be the right time to do an LMG reunion? I don't even mean like public. Like, you guys wouldn't get a video about it or anything. That'd be weird.
It's a lot of people now.
It's a ton.
We've been operating for a long time.
12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Some of the group for longer, but the company, LMG, 12 years.
Yeah. When would be the right time? And to be clear,
20?
I'm talking about like zero held back invitations.
15?
Literally everyone. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that wouldn't dare show their face at this point, but
Never?
I would invite them.
Really?
I wouldn't discriminate. No. When would be the right time?
Don't live locally anymore. Is this flights?
I don't know.
What if someone was an employee and now they are a contractor for us?
Well, no. Anyone currently at the company would obviously be invited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never? I don't know. Like, what's the point? What are we gaining from that?
I mean, nothing. It'd be fun.
Would it?
I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't mind catching up with people. Like
Some people, absolutely.
Yeah, well, you don't have to talk to all of them.
They might talk to you.
Sorry?
They might talk to you.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm asking you.
They might talk to me.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
There are definitely people that I would love to sync up with again.
But it sounds like there's also people that you wouldn't love to sync up with so much.
I think that would be fine.
I think you could communicate with them directly. You could just say, I'm done with this conversation now. Thank you. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Just leave.
That is actually what I do, though.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm really tired. Good night. And I'll just leave.
Again, I think it's fair. Just say I'm over it.
Yeah, Elijah says I'm over it.
Just lay down on the ground. I don't know if that's a specific reference or not, but that was a thing that my brother started in our household at one point, which is at a certain point, like, we were both playing a lot of sports. My brother especially was big. He was into football. He worked out a lot. We were both big. And my mom would like try to get him to do something, and he would just lay down on the ground and be like, make me. What are you going to do? Because we hit the point where like we're playing all these contact sports all the time. So like imagine like, okay, you can break your wooden spoon all you want. It's not going to do anything, like literally at all. So have fun. And then, eventually get up and do it anyways. But because mom's cool. But like, yeah. That was a. I don't know if that's a reference to that or not, because I'm pretty sure I've told that story before. But
for what it's worth, Yvonne is also opposed to the no conditional invitations.
Oh yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Unconditional invitation reunion.
Horrible idea.
She said the same thing you did. Why?
What's the point? What's the gain?
I don't know.
Wait, your brother's bigger than you?
It's complicated.
We're very different, like forms.
In mass, I'd say they're fairly similar.
I think so.
Yeah.
My brother was always bigger, like stronger. He's really fast somehow. But he was a fullback in football. He had way more muscle than me. Even now, he'll come to the gym not going to the gym in like forever and just lift crazy weight. It's ridiculous. He was always really, really strong. And I was generally fast. We were like built very differently. And it was always frustrating how fast he was, because I was like, you're built so differently than me. I should be so much faster than you. But compared to how stronger he was compared to me and how much faster I was than him, it was like the ratio was not good in my favor.
Okay, hold on. VNG Supernova says one is Machamp and one is Hitmonlee. Hold on. I want to know which one is which here. I don't remember these Pokemon.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. No. Luke, no offense, Luke, but you are not of that build.
What would that build be?
This is more like I don't know, what's his nuts that
because we're talking high school, not now.
Yeah, this guy. I'd say that's like he's like a
guy.
that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, like that. But that's a Hitmonlee build.
Okay,
like
okay.
yeah, that's like a lean like UFC fighter build.
Yeah.
No offense.
He's too ripped. You didn't know me when I was in high school, though. You have no idea, really.
I'd say you're probably the Machamp then. I don't know what I would compare your brother to. Okay, all fight Pokemon. Okay, here we go. Lucario's a fighting type?
Yeah, we're gonna go pretty like no.
Mankey.
Mankey?
Don't tell me
think so.
Oh, this is not bad.
Yeah.
That could be rich.
He's like, for reference for people watching, there was one time that there was a barn on fire. This was back when he was
Poliwrath. I could see Poliwrath.
Yeah. There's one time there was a barn on fire. This is when he was a volunteer firefighter, and he's now a full-time firefighter. But there was animals in the barn, and they couldn't get the door open. And this frustrated Richard. He did not like this situation because there was animals in the barn, and the animals needed to no longer be in the barn. So Richard ran through the wall in order to solve the problem. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It was great. So he played football up here. It is pretty common for like American football players, if they don't quite make it to the NFL or if they need to take a step back from the NFL or whatever, they'll come up and play for the CFL, the Canadian Football League. It is not super common for Canadian players to go play for down in the States. My brother got a full ride, if I remember correctly, it was full ride, some form of scholarship to an American school to play football as a fullback. Didn't make it to the NFL, but that is just like unheard of. He was crazy, very strong. Yep. Him running through a wall was not super surprising for me when I heard it. And I was like, yes, this sounds reasonable and appropriate. If I remember correctly, he got yelled at for it, but they were also like, but also that was kind of cool. It was pretty sick.
Okay, Tacky the Penguin says Khabib overrated. That can't be true, right? Isn't he like undefeated?
Well, he stopped fighting.
Yeah, so you're allowed to retire at some point, aren't you?
Oh no, well, yeah, but I don't think he had like a crazy. I don't follow that stuff. I don't think he had a crazy amount of fights, but I don't think he's.
With 29 wins and 0 losses, he retired with an undefeated record.
I don't think he's overrated.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah. He isn't good till he loses to a Paul brother. Okay, come on. And everyone knows it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be one of the Paul brothers' illegitimate sons by that point. But sorry, what are we talking about? Dan.
I don't know how we got on this topic.
That was a merch message from 20 minutes ago. Do some more topics.
Neat. Okay. Why don't we do the future of tech channels? Source?
Yeah.
I made it up. Nice. I'm seeing a growing and justified trend of kind of anger toward tech reviewers for being able to get access to new technology that consumers struggle to get their hands on. And I'm doing this topic out of order now. Let's do it. Let's do this first topic first. And you thought MSRP was bad.
What?
The 5090 is hard to buy.
Okay, just to be clear, just in case anyone else didn't follow that, we have completely abandoned the previous topic.
We have. I'm over it.
And we're on to a new one. I follow that. I'm just making sure other people are also with us.
Many users have been disappointed with the launch of the 50 series, which offers underwhelming generational uplift over the 40 series while maintaining or, in some cases, exceeding the high pricing. Remember, this wasn't that long ago. The 3080's MSRP at launch was $699. And for a short, glorious window of time, it was actually available for around that price before the mining craze took off. However, for those who've been waiting a few generations for high-end upgrade, in spite of this awful pricing, these cards are their only option, especially with 40 series cards becoming scarce as Nvidia ramped down production last year, allegedly. But here's the thing. You can't get the cards. Even Nvidia employees claim to be struggling to get them. Overclockers UK stated it may take 16 weeks for them to deliver all of their 5090 pre-orders. And all models of the GPUs are out of stock virtually everywhere. This lack of availability has led to enthusiasts referring to the launch of the 50 series as a paper launch, though that is not really what that term means. A paper launch usually indicated a launch via the press months or at least weeks before the product was actually available for sale at all. So I would say an example of a paper launch.
There was an AMD card back in the day.
I've got one. I've got one in mind. It was the 1900 XTX. Here we go. X1900 XTX. I think this was the one. Or was it X19? No, it was X1950 XTX.
I don't remember.
XTX. Yes, this one. The X1950 XTX was basically functionally a non-existent GPU. Wait, is this the one? You know what? I forget. Basically a higher X850 XT. That's the one. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so this Platinum Edition, this stupid thing. This thing functionally did not exist. It was a like overclocked, super mega binned version of the X800 XT, and there is no architectural difference, blah, 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 but it is ever so slightly overclocked with a fancy tattoo on its, fan shroud or whatever. And essentially, they shipped them to reviewers so that they could claim to have a competitive product in the Halo tier, and shipped a small handful to retailers, and then effectively it never existed again. So that was where we started to refer to very low inventory launches as paper launches. The 50 series is not a paper launch. What it is a launch with extremely limited availability, especially as compared to the demand.
People do have them. They're flipping them on eBay. Everything's ridiculous. It's crap, but yeah.
Got some more updates for you. Due to the demand for these chips and the limited supply, it seems that add-in board partners are increasing their prices. MSI has increased the prices of their entire lineup of out-of-stock 50 series GPUs, and their sole non-OC 5080 model received a 14% price increase to $1,139.99, and their sole MSRP 5090 is now going for $2,379. That is a whopping $380 over MSRP. Asus, not to be left out, increased their prices, with the ROG Astral 5090 going from an already high $2,799 to a trippin' balls $3,079. Yeesh. And if you're thinking, only $3,079, how am I ever going to flaunt my wealth? Asus has a gold version of the 5090 that is exclusive to the Middle East, the 5090 Dahab OC edition. However, unlike our gold Xbox controller, it is not made of real gold. The absolute cowards. Let's see if I can find a picture of this thing. It actually looks sick, and I really want one. There is absolutely no way. There's no way that I would pay for it, but that thing looks so cool.
Our thing says we aren't sure that it's made of real gold.
There's no. It's not. I know it's not made of gold.
I'm just saying.
It's only like another $1,000. There's no way it's made of gold.
You don't want a 4-hour video coming out about. I'm just trying to keep an eye out. Okay, we're gonna make it. We're gonna be okay.
Are we, Luke? Chewie's gone home already.
Chewie has to deal with all the problems on Fridays. It's just Fridays.
Why are you the spicy one today?
Should I make sure we don't say things that are wrong?
Many are wondering why Nvidia launched the new series with such low inventory. And there are a number of factors that I could speculate are involved. I would say the proximity to Chinese New Year probably isn't helping anything. The ongoing threat / enactment of tariffs could be playing a role in low availability. I know that it's gumming up the works in terms of the supply chain. So our commuter bags were already delayed in their shipments before we stopped shipping them because of the tariffs, because the threat of tariffs had companies just like trying to jam as much goods into the US as possible, and has led to like big holdups at the major ports. By the way, we are shipping commuter bags now, so if you guys see people buying commuter bags, the tariffs have been stayed and the de minimis exemption has been restored for now. So we're pushing things out. Anyway, another third contributor to NVIDIA's low stock would be, let's see, I'm Jensen Huang. Imagine I have a leather jacket.
Nice, good.
Alligator.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I have this wafer from TSMC. I have to share TSMC's manufacturing capacity with everyone else. So but I got this one. What am I going to do with it? Well, I could make gaming GPUs. I could do that. Or hear me out, alternate pitch. I could make AI GPUs.
And the gaming GPUs are worth how much?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Crap. Nothing.
And the AI GPUs are worth how much?
Lots. My shareholders loved it.
Do the gamers like you?
No.
Do the AI people like you?
They love me.
Tough question.
Anyway. Oh no, who wrote this topic? Okay. Anyway, Linus Sebastian, CVO of Linus Media Group and creator of YouTube channel Linus Tech Tips, though, says he is torn as to whether or not he will buy one. Elaborate, though, Linus, don't spoil the results of the upcoming 4K and 8K videos, please. Don't say if I'm buying one or not. Signed, Plouffe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it because that's kind of the premise for both of our 8K
I'm very excited to watch
and 4K gaming videos is both Plouffe and I went on the record before the launch saying if all the rumors are true, we're buying one. And now that it's launched,
I was telling people at CES that I was really excited for it and wanted to get one.
Neither of us is certain, or at least we weren't before we made those videos. So I actually have no further comment on that.
I am not getting one. I think everyone saw that coming, but still. I wanted to get it because of almost like professional development. But now I'm just talking to Darren about getting a cluster at work. So you can buy it.
Wow. Eat a dick.
You can use it too.
Actually, we might have a potential partner who wants to send us like an NVIDIA GPU server to like use for a few months. Is that long enough? Like, do you need it forever?
I do want one long term.
You fucking
But it would be like I would want it to power like inline IDE assistance for the developers in the lab and stuff like that. Like it's not just like a tinker box for me. Like actually, I'm serious. I recruited Dan knows.
Luke, tell us about your tinker box.
You don't want to hear about mine.
Sometimes I use weird phrases for things. This is never going to change.
Yeah, just comb it with a brick on it.
That's an old reference, but it checks out. But no, I recruited like Dan and AJ and Nick from the lab to all kind of consult on it and how we can properly use it at work and stuff like that.
Cool. Anyway, there's a couple other 50 series launch things. It's wildly expensive. American sticker shock is already bad. Imagine what it's like in Canada or Australia. Dude, people were posting screenshots of Australian prices on this stuff, and I'm just like
$9,000 5090s.
What are we even doing here at this point? Yeah. And there's a note in here from Adam who wrote up this topic. Just so you guys know, we're just as screwed as everyone else when it comes to getting these cards for personal use. Several employees tried buying at launch and only managed to snag either a 5080 or pre-orders for a 5090, and no one has any idea when those pre-orders will be filled. And I got to say, regardless of the outcome of the 8K and 4K gaming videos with Plouffe, because I have sort of become unaccustomed to buying things at launch. Like I don't really care. Like I'll just wait until later. Because like I love gaming, but realistically I don't find as much time for it as I used to. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. I can, like, if I need something, I'll like get it later. Not to mention that over the years, you know, being a tech personality, I have acquired many tech things. But I have committed for NVIDIA GPUs. I don't know how this kind of happened, but I committed to not upgrade to 40 series either by buying it or by taking a sample. Nothing. So I have not daily to 40 series GPU. And then for 50 series, I basically said, look, if these are just as expensive as 40 series, then the only way that I can reasonably justify finally upgrading is if I'm actually like spending money on it. I'm not going to just like take one. I'm not just going to take one that you guys could have had. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to have to actually like buy one. So not being sort of used to fighting scalpers for things because I just don't need a PlayStation. You know, like I haven't really had to go up against it, and I haven't upgraded my GPU in years. I completely missed the rush. I don't have a pre-order in. I don't have. So if I want to buy one, what will it cost me? Let's go on eBay, shall we? Without looking, what would a 5090 cost me right now?
Canadian
US eBay. US eBay.
$4,400.
US?
Yeah.
All right, we're off to a great start. 5090 doesn't even bring up any GPUs. We've got a Dell Optiplex
That
small
does
form
not
factor
bode well
PC.
for me.
No, it really doesn't. All right, let's try RTX.
There's no way that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one below it looks a little bit more accurate.
Open box, 2-year extended warranty.
I've heard from some people that the
hand.
5080 prices have been going down on the used market.
Well,
so
yeah, 5080s in here.
I assumed the 5090 ones might be doing the same.
Jeebus, help
That's
us all.
US dollars, dude.
These are bids, dude.
Those are bids!
These are bids. That's not a buy it now, sir.
That's not one bid.
Okay, but maybe no one's buying them. Maybe people are saying, no, they're buying them.
6,200.
That's a Founders. Yeah. So more like
7,500. 9,000. What?
some of these might be fake. I don't think anyone's actually paying 9,000 for a gaming trio. Especially when they could get it for 6,300 in this other listing. Yeah, this is rough, dude. This is all today. We're still on today right now, by the way.
Yeah, so like they exist.
Yep, they're definitely out there. I would just not. I won't. I can't.
Best offer doesn't show actual price. What does that mean?
I'm not looking at best offer. I'm looking at completed items, sold items.
New listing, 6,000 or best offer.
Oh, what they're saying is that they might have taken a lower offer.
Okay, so the $9,000 one might have taken a lower offer.
No, they say best offer accepted on ones that are best offer, though. See? So no, I actually, no, that looks different. I'm not an eBay expert when it comes to this. As far as my understanding goes, when you say sold items, that shows the price. Yeah, Jenny Thing says it has a line through it if they took a lower offer. Yeah, no, this appears to be the closing price, guys.
And yeah, I don't know.
Whew.
Rough.
Whew.
And that transitions us to...
the future of tech channels. Source, I made it up. I am seeing a growing and justified, or understandable at least, trend of anger toward tech reviewers for being able to get access to this technology that consumers are struggling to get their hands on especially at a somewhat reasonable price. I think we can all agree that one component of a gaming computer is not reasonably priced at the entire cost of a sick top-of-the-line gaming setup just a couple short years ago. Yeah. I think we can probably all agree on that.
Yeah.
Now, there's always been kind of some of this that we've seen, whether it's, in the comments or live streams or, whatever, right? But what I've noticed is that this perception seems to be getting worse for a number of reasons that I think may make it difficult for us to make videos going forward. Reason number one economic challenges in the tech and gaming industry. Layoffs, and a big pendulum swing towards a buyer's market for tech companies in their HR endeavors. I think we could agree that...
Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, I think 3 years ago, it was a seller's market. If I was a potential prospective employee or a recent graduate, I was basically...
Getting scooped up.
Putting resumes out there, if I even got a chance to put resumes out there, and I would just have an offer when it came to tech. Now, it's the other way around. I think that the tech companies are able to be choosy, and they're absolutely thinning the herd. Luke talked about this, I think, on the pre-show, where like the RTO, the return to office mandates, seem to be, in some cases, very obviously nothing to do with actually wanting everybody in the office, and everything to do with thinning the herd.
Hoping you'll take a layoff without severance.
Yes. Factor number 2, economic challenges more broadly. Everything is expensive, especially food, which, pun intended, eats into the disposable income that we have to spend on
ding, ding, ding.
Nice to haves like GPUs. Factor number 3, ever shrinking incentives to allocate manufacturing capacity to low margin gaming products. And this is exactly what Luke was talking about during the 50 series thing. For every wafer, Nvidia can choose to build AI chips for customers and media who love them at monstrous margins that delight their shareholders, or they can choose to build gaming chips for customers and media who generally kind of hate them at margins that drag down their books. Factor 4, closely related, the ever-growing prices of consumer GPUs. And so here, I've got a note to talk about how Plouffe has been following the pricing of the 4090 particularly closely. As you guys are going to see in the 8K gaming drag race, where we game at 8K on a 4090.
His, right?
It is actually his.
Yeah.
We had to pull his from his system. He graciously brought it into work that day, asked me to be very, very careful with it as I was installing it and uninstalling. I'm like, Plouffe, I'm good for it. He's like, dude, it's not a question of that. It's a question of whether you'd even be able to buy me a new one, whether you'd even be able to get one. And it's a great point. Anyway, the point is he graciously brought in his 4090 so that we could compare it directly to the 5090. And so he's been paying very close attention, because if he's going to buy a 5090, like he had said he was going to, he would be selling his 4090. So keeping track of 4090 pricing tells him how much he's going to have to put towards his 5090. Yeah. And this is crazy. Okay, so he added this to the doc here, but he was telling me earlier in the week, man. Or not earlier in the week. It must have been last week when we were shooting the first one, the 8K gaming video. He's like, dude, 4090s are still going for like 2K Canadian. That's like only a couple $100 less than what I paid. Get this. When we were shooting the 4K gaming video, the 4K high refresh rate gaming video earlier this week, he goes, Linus, you're not going to believe this. 4090s are now going for about 200 Canadian more than what I paid. I could have used this GPU that I bought brand new 2 years ago for 2 years, and I could sell it today
and make money
for a couple $100 more than what I paid. Then get this. He just posted this update in the doc. I just checked. They're going for like 3K plus CAD on eBay now.
Well, people look at the benchmarks and they go like,
well, 4090 looks pretty good.
Yeah, maybe I'll just get that.
So all these factors together affect a channel like ours in multiple ways. I've seen a clear trend of disengagement with content that features, shit I can't afford, right? And I've seen people lament the old days when the channel was focused on stuff that regular people can own instead of just like millionaire shit. But hear me out. Hear me out for a second. Maybe LTT was always unhinged, expensive stuff.
Before you even jump into that, I want to give an example. The first real project I worked on with you was something I had never done before because I couldn't afford it.
Oh, the water cooling guide. Yeah. Okay.
Water cooling has always been expensive, especially back then. It was even worse.
Goes back farther than that. The second video, that is what at the time was the most expensive motherboard on the market with 3 top spec GPUs on it. And why did I put them on there? I don't know. Let's see if they fit.
Yeah.
Actually, they weren't all top spec. This was actually 3 different generations because I just thought it was funny. Let's go a little further. Oh, 3D vision, because that wasn't a, unhinged, ridiculous accessory for 1%ers. What else we got here? We've got a bunch of motherboards because I was in a motherboard mood that day. Here's a bunch more motherboards. oh, I don't know, here's my personal rig, you know, just casually looking a little something like that. Like, it was always aspirational. If we go a little farther, we're going to find like an extreme edition CPU. I think there it is. Here's $1,000 US CPU. Let's crack the seal, boys. It was always aspirational. It was always like, you know, oh man, what would it be like, you know, when the price comes down and I could have one of those? So why does it bother people now? Well, I think there's a few factors. I think the perception of me has changed. I haven't really talked to you about this, but I think it's safe to say now that I regret disclosing the value of the offer for our company. I believe in transparency with the audience, and in some ways, I'm as parasocial as any of you guys are. And you know, I like, you know, talking about, you know, what's going on, around here. But it does feel like there was a significant turning point in perception toward me personally and toward our brand that Linus changed, you know, that LTT changed. Once, you know, I spelled it out for you guys that running a media company with 100 plus people means I probably have means beyond the 99%. In the current climate, I think that almost certainly contributes to some of the anger and frustration that's targeted at me, even though, like, guys, I'm a small fish. I do not control the price of eggs. I still exchange my labor for money. I don't just get to exercise my capital for profit. And I also don't think that's all of it anyway. I think a bigger piece is growing apathy toward tech in general. What is the point of watching a video about the latest thing if it will literally never come down in price? The fact that Plouffe's 4090 is worth today more than it was worth 2 years ago. Why should I care? Why should I bother caring about any of this then? And I think another big factor is like people just have other stuff on their mind. They just don't have the bandwidth. It's like, it used to be that the point of learning about DDR8 or whatever was that someday my earning power will grow and the cost of DDR8 will go down, and those lines are going to intersect, and I'm going to enjoy all that juicy tech goodness at some point. But wages are stagnating. Hardworking people are being cut from their roles at companies that are turning around and announcing record profits, all while, you know, AMD just forgets that Ryzen 3 exists. And Nvidia launches new GPUs that are so expensive, the old ones keep their retail value. I can see why it feels pointless.
I'm going to jump in for a sec again, just to bolster that, the whole forgets Ryzen 3 exists thing. For a long time, not only was the 60 card the one that everybody bought, but it felt like there was also a lot more emphasis on it. It felt like it mattered more.
Where's the 50 desktop card?
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like they in general, they cared about the lower end a lot more. And I think that is somewhat reflected in like this 5000 series launch. You know, I've been out of it for a while, but everyone seems really interested in the 90 series. If I'm thinking like way back, like 500 series, 400 series, 700 series even, like the 780 was really cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, people really talked about the 760.
The 8800 GTS was sick. And if you were a baller, you could get two of those in SLI, and it was actually better bang for the buck than a single GTX. Like, there was value to be had.
The GTS
down the stack
was like what people really cared about.
Yep.
GTX was cool to see, but the GTS was what people really cared about.
Yep.
And that doesn't feel like the communication sentiment that I'm seeing these days. I'm not seeing a bunch of people being like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's a cool video or whatever, but like, I don't care about the 5090. I'm looking for the 5060. I genuinely don't think I've seen any of those comments. And you used to see that all the time.
The most frustrating part for me is that for our hardware enthusiast hobby that, you know, we've enjoyed for our entire adult lives, is that all of this is totally valid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I didn't review this stuff for a living, would I bother upgrading my PC if something wasn't broken? And if I didn't care about competitive play, would I just use a streaming service like GeForce Now or Shadow? Ugh. So, I don't know. It's something I've been reflecting on a lot because I sit in writers' meeting, right? And, you know, on the one hand, it's fun for us to joke about doing like a tech yacht or whatever, you know, just for the spectacle of it. You know, it's fun, right? And it's cool. It's cool to look at. It's cool to dream about. And it's cool to live that dream. And that's awesome. And, you know, all of that stuff, right? Like, it's cool, right? But at what makes us, relatable, what makes it fun to watch us do that wild stuff is that we also talk about the things that, people can actually afford. But I don't, and so people will be pitching things in writers' meeting, and I'm just like, yeah, no, we can't even talk about that. We can't show that. And the thing is, like, we get backlash for watching me put cool tech in my McMansion. We get backlash for saying, hey, buying a console is a valid option. We get backlash, and we have always, but it's been more lately, which is bizarre, for focusing on secondhand tech in videos like our PlayStation Killer series. And that one that I did, I had someone explain to me why that video didn't resonate with people. The one where I was like, only you can fix GPU pricing. And I went out and did like a mini Scrapyard Wars where I bought a 3080 for a great price. And it was because people don't want to be blamed. Gamers didn't want to be blamed for buying the stuff anyway.
Sure.
And I'm kind of like, okay, but like,
you're buying $7,000 5090s.
what am I supposed to do? It's really weird to have people be angry at the messenger in these cases. It's like, yeah, we're going to continue to highlight affordable stuff whenever we get the chance. I can't cover products that don't exist. People ask me, why don't you do $500 build guides anymore? Like every few months, why don't you do like an affordable build guides? Because
what are you going to put in it?
I can't cover stuff that doesn't exist. AMD hasn't launched a Ryzen 3 in 2 full desktop generations now. And that includes mid-cycle X3D refreshes.
Yeah, the companies don't really care about that.
Nvidia,
like at all,
simply no longer makes a 50 class GPU on the desktop. They just don't have one. I mean, I also, this is another one. I also get asked, hey, Linus, why aren't you doing more to pressure these companies to make stuff more affordable? And the answer to that is, guys, you watch WAN Show every week. You tune into LTT a few times a week and you care what I have to say. Maybe you don't. Maybe you hate watch. I don't know. But the point is that you're engaged. Do you think Lisa Sue watches WAN Show?
Well, that's not what they're not trying to say. I think they're trying to say, like, why don't you talk to them directly?
No, so it doesn't matter. My point is just that, do you think Lisa Sue gives two shits what I think?
Yeah.
No. Do you think Jensen Huang cares? Do you think he knows my name?
They're analyzing where they're making money, and they're doing that.
They are solely beholden to their shareholders, and I own no stock in any of their companies because, duh, I shouldn't. So, that was the spiel. What do we do? Like, what do we do? We can't just keep reviewing hardware that people can't afford. We can't keep just like, building projects that no one could hope to replicate ever. Like, what's the answer here? Can you believe that Apple is now the savior of the affordable desktop PC?
It's weird.
What the fuck?
A lot of talk going around about Mac Minis. A lot. I literally hear about Mac Minis like at least multiple times a week. Yeah.
Apple!
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
So you got nothing then? That's what you're saying. It's weird. Thank you, Luke. That's really helpful.
I don't have anything. I mean, I don't think, there's people in the comments saying do retro stuff. There's a dot here on doing retro stuff. I don't think that's going to work, personally. I think you can do it every now and then. I don't think you can pivot the channel to it. There's thoughts about doing software content. Again, I think you can do it every now and then. I strongly don't believe you can pivot the channel to it.
Nerdle brings up a really interesting point. Linus, I'd be more concerned if views were going way down with the hate. But if it's consistent views, why are we focusing on the hate more? I'm not talking about hate. I'm talking about something way more dangerous, and that's apathy.
Yeah.
And the reason that views aren't going down is because for all the, ripping on them that I do and, all the banter that we have in the office, I have a world-class team.
Yeah.
We work...
pee on the floor.
We work...
Pee on the floor!
Okay, that's an internal meme. Don't worry about it.
I will never stop.
The point is,
I almost got him.
We work really hard. To upload videos that are engaging for our audience. And the reason that views are the way that they are, hold on, title contains, hold on, I'm doing a little filter here. The reason that views haven't fallen is because we're doing that. We are actively working against a tide that you guys might not see in our analytics, but we do. If we just uploaded a video unboxing a motherboard, right? Like we might have 10 years ago.
Oof.
We'd be lucky to get 50,000 views on it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The apathy toward just like DIY computer hardware. We have to come up with an angle. Like there was one recently that just bombed, and we were talking about it on WAN Show, and you guys rightly were like, Linus, you totally missed the mark on this. You should have done $50 versus $50,000 for that format. And it was the home theater one. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Like you need a catch, you need a hook, you need a format, you need to do so much more than just review this product like we used to. Like look at this. Things are so much work now. We literally had to paint Elijah's house to execute this video. That would have been the kind of like wild, huge project that we would do once a quarter back in the day. The 50 series reviews were thick in terms of the effort that went into them. This controller roundup, you know, we had David working for at least an entire week dedicated to this. That is not a thing that used to happen for just an upload.
Also, Antoine Lasselab's work. There was.
Oh yeah, multiple people worked for a long time on this. The editors did such a great job. Shoot, I feel terrible because I forget who it was, but boy, did they ever do a bang up job of all of the cool like graphics and stuff. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Here we go. No. There we go. Like this kind of stuff is so cool. That adds so much to the video. It is so much, Robert, there we go. It is so much more work now to get those views compared to, and I'm not complaining. I'm not saying we shouldn't have to work. We shouldn't have to compete. We should have to work. We should have to compete. I embrace competition because I think it makes the content, I think it makes the entire space better for people who care and for people who are interested in it. But what I'm saying is it's not about, it's not hate.
Competing to make better content. It's like competing against a fading industry.
Yeah.
Which that's no longer fun or cool.
Yeah. So what do we do?
What do you do in 20 years?
Oh, dude, what? So 20 years, what? I'm 58?
Okay, let's make it different. What do you do in 12 years?
Why 12? Oh, I see. Because we've been at it 12 years. I don't know. I think that's a good way to frame it, though. Because if we can determine, you know, where we want to be, then every action that we take is, I mean, for better or for worse, I've always been about transparency with the people. Like, yeah. I think that a lot of online personalities get a bit of an easier ride, even though they're very successful, if they like don't post a picture of their car. Never live stream from their nice house. I think it's easier for people to just kind of forget about that.
We were talking, I'm not going to go directly into this topic, but we were talking about this kind of in the pre-show of like being more transparent about and public about things will catch you more flack.
Oh, 100%.
Guaranteed.
100%.
In every scenario.
I mean, at this point, though, I feel like I've been caught in the flat cannon so many times and I'm not dead yet. Like,
it's just like, Tickle, tickle.
I mean, you know how upset I was and why for a recent thing that happened.
Oh, yeah. Very justified.
And it rolled off my back easier than I thought.
Surprisingly fast.
Because I think maybe...
And not because you don't care. I think it's
just an acceptance that the hater's going to hate, and I'm just going to shake it off. Like I don't really have a choice. There's nothing I can do about it. And so this isn't about appeasing haters. It's about, you know, figuring out what is the direction of our content, because now we have reviewed the 50 series, you know, I'm going to have no new consumer GPU after we get through 5070, 5060, probably 5050 won't even happen. So sometime over the next, you know, months, we're going to have the entire 50 series lineup, and I will have no Nvidia GPU to review for probably 2 years.
I honestly, looking at the trend, maybe 2.5, maybe 2.25.
Maybe 2, yeah, maybe longer. Who knows, right? So that's not going to work. We can't just like review GPUs when they happen to appear.
Yeah.
So where do I want to be in 12 years? I don't know. Maybe it's so hard to think about that. We're
moving. If you look at, we have a video coming soon that is going to be very cool, which is how does LMG make money? And if you look at the trend line of the company, we're making stuff.
We do. We
got to the point where it was like, there isn't enough stuff to make content. There's enough stuff to make content about. Let's start making stuff instead of just making content.
Yeah, in between was I remember telling probably you, I think this would have been still when you were on the content team, but definitely people afterwards, is we are at a scale now and at a level of operation where we no longer talk about the news, we make the news.
That was still, I was still doing content.
We create something to be excited about. Yeah. Whether it's with our angle or our production values or whatever it is, we cannot be dependent on someone else to make something interesting for us to talk about. We have to find something interesting to say regardless. And then I guess you're saying, so the next level is we just make something for people to talk about. We're not at that level in tech though.
We're talking 12 years though. Look at what we've done in 12 years. In this 12 years, we made screwdrivers and backpacks and multiple content warehouses and a lab and a video platform service and all this other stuff. What are we going to do in the next 12 years? 12 years is a long time. Your child will solidly be an adult.
Ugh. Oh, I don't want to think about that right now.
I'm just trying to give the scale.
Yeah, no, I get it. Man, I mean, like we make stuff. We do make stuff now. Sometimes it's just a one-off. Why am I not finding this video? What is going on? Oh, the filters are just being stupid. This is a really cool video. The ultimate sleeper gaming TV. Again, this is the kind of video that would have been like once a quarter, once a year level project. Easily. And is just an upload this week.
Yeah.
The finished product on this is absolutely incredible. It's the best gaming TV in the world. It has every console that matters inside it. Did you watch this, Luke?
I haven't yet, but I'm genuinely excited to. I've just had a genuinely insane week.
So we've got PC, subwoofer, speakers, Nintendo Wii U, PlayStation 5, and a Nintendo Switch. And then we replaced the front projection screen with an OLED. So it's everything about it is modern, current generation, top of the line, sleeper gaming TV.
So sick, dude.
But I love
projects like that.
I don't see a path where we like productize stuff like that though. So what do we make in tech?
I don't know.
Like I don't have a vision toward that.
It's really hard to make quarterly goals, and we're trying to make 12-year goals.
Yeah.
What I think I'm pushing for is that we'll make something. The engine that has been created here is an engine that can be used for a great many things at this point. We have software, we have hardware, we have content, we have business, we have everything practically. So what the engine works to produce.
So here's a question.
Who knows?
I mean, should we just, back to the haters or whatever, should we just maintain the transparency? Should we just do Tech Yacht and just not give a fuck? People aren't going to be happy unless you Michael Bay the sequel. So do we just keep upping the ante? Do we take the ultimate sleeper gaming TV, put it in our Tech Yacht, sign it up with a charter broker service, and people can charter the Tech Yacht and they can play on the ultimate gaming TV? Like, should we just not give a fuck?
My big thing, and I know this might not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but my big thing is if you make it a business, I don't care.
Right.
It's a business venture.
So
it doesn't matter to me how profitable it is.
So if people can charter the tech plane,
yeah, sure,
then we don't care.
Whatever.
Interesting philosophy. I'm not sure if I 100% agree with that.
I don't know that everyone else does either.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting... but maybe we just don't give a fuck anymore. I don't know, dude.
Why is your spending beholden to others?
Oh, well, I mean... I don't know. I mean, you know that one of the reasons that I held off on like getting a nice car for so long was because I was concerned about the optics.
And I'm saying this while I feel the same way often. So like I'm being pretty hypocritical. But I also do kind of believe it. I don't exactly walk the walk, but I do kind of believe it, where it's like, I don't know, man, do whatever you want. Like it's at a certain point, who cares? And you look at so many other creators that don't care. And like I came across a like hype video because I think it was like Speed or something. Someone tried to make fun of him because his card doc got declined at like some restaurant, and he flexed that the watch he was wearing was like $3 million, and it was like the music after he does that is like this like hype, like whoa, he's so sick, and it puts like filters on the frame and starts like shaking the camera and stuff, and they're like cheering for him because he has a $3 million watch or whatever. I'm sure I misquoted all of that. I don't care. It's not the point. But yeah, cool.
I have an Apple Watch with a unicorn on it.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. Who cares? Yeah, especially in my opinion, if you like try to make it. Yeah, if it's a business venture and people do chart planes and they chart yachts, these are things that happen.
Yeah.
So like it can be a legitimate business, and if you try to put a specific spin on it, like it's the gamer version, then I don't know. Cool. I could absolutely see like some baller old money person, whatever. I don't know. They have a bachelor party and they want to do it on a gamer yacht.
That'd be sick.
Why not?
My name is Jeb says, maybe don't give a fuck when it's your money on the line, but your employees rely on you to feed their families. And it's questionable at that point. And that's 100% valid. But
unless they're definitely going to be fine.
Let me put it this way. The paychecks have never been late at Linus Media Group. Not once. In 12 years, not once. You would never see me being irresponsible in such a way that it would impact our ability to make payroll. That has never happened. That would never happen.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is it interesting? Is putting a computer on a yacht interesting?
Oh, we do way more than a computer, sir.
RGBing.
Oh, dude.
A yacht.
Dude, I got ideas for days. I got
glass
ideas
panel the
for
bottom
days.
so you can see the fish.
Two
we're not doing
computers.
that.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I know, but we're not doing that.
Okay.
Are you going to jump it over a shark?
Wait, no. Do you jump the shark over the boat, or which? What's the bigger shark jump? Dan, help me out here.
I think the shark jumping over the boat is cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Can
Tech
the
shark.
Can the shark be on fire?
No.
It should be on fire. Okay, the hoop.
That's animal cruelty.
The hoop could be on fire.
You need to get a CG team. That's what you need. We have an editing team. We need a computer graphic team so that they can set the shark on fire. And then you can water cool it because it's a shark. It goes back in the water as a water cooled shark. I think all sharks are water cooled.
Whale land for whales cruise? Okay, no, but seriously, we're talking about in the pre-show. If there is a tech yacht and he could smack a bunch of Starlink on it or something, and we could make a strong Wi-Fi bubble right next to, because there's a pier right next to where LTX normally happens.
Work.
We wouldn't have to buy convention internet.
Would not
and convention internet is incredibly expensive.
What if we just did like float plane boat and all of the developers just lived and worked on the boat?
What?
I don't know if we're going to get buy-in on that.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's going to want to do that.
I'm down.
Jeez.
You just want free housing.
Hey.
That's the problem with LMG. We don't have a basement for Luke to live in.
Hey, we used to.
And now we don't. And the company's going to hell.
That's it.
We don't have a basement.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get an answer today. It's been really interesting to see your guys' perspectives on it. I think you guys know that maybe to a fault, I take community feedback very seriously. So I really do appreciate Floatplane Chat for kind of
too much of it.
Yeah, jumping in here with their perspectives. But I don't actually see another way forward other than just doing whatever. And just not worrying about, people's perception, because the reality of it is like, that's why you guys watched us from day one, was that we had cool stuff
If you start
that most people could never afford.
If you start exclusively make like some of the suggestions that we're looking at here, if you start exclusively making software content, the channel will die. If you start exclusively making retro content, the channel will die.
We'll run out of retro things. Like that's the problem. Is there's a finite amount of retro.
Yeah. And like maybe there's always the possibility of spin-off channels. Maybe there's something there. I kind of doubt it. There's already people that do that really well on YouTube. And I don't think there's enough of like a reason to try to compete in that arena. There's really good people in that arena doing a really good job. I feel like it's pretty saturated, to be completely honest. I don't know what we could bring new to that I think would be really good.
Altar says, I think there's a big difference between showcasing cool tech and needlessly flaunting wealth. I've always appreciated the learning and the journey of these videos. I don't think that will change. And that is something that we try to do. I always talk to the writing team about what's the learning outcome. I'll say like, hey, that sounds like a funny scenario, but it also feels contrived if we aren't learning anything about it, or if we aren't learning anything by coming along on this journey. And I don't think that that's something that we would lose track of. However, those learning outcomes might not be that relatable. They might not be that applicable. I mean, if we're looking at...
A lot of them aren't, and that's okay.
Automation systems for a boat.
Scientific study happens on a lot of things that have questionable use.
Nooch says...
We're increasing the body of knowledge regardless.
Nooch says, I feel labs will be your legacy. Accountability and transparency in tech. We're going to have an interesting test coming up. We're going to be doing a video on the main LTT channel that is all about PSU Circuit. That is about the incredible work that Lucas and the other people who work on PSU Circuit, but realistically, mostly Lucas, are doing to really shed light on what power supplies are good and worth buying.
This shows how our brain works. I understand that is PSU Circuit, but you're talking about PSU Circuit, and I went to the website and you went to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
Anyway, they're doing really, really great work. And I think it's going to be a real test of how much we can get people to care about this, to see how much of a bump we see over here. Like how much ongoing interest we can generate. And to be clear, and I want to make this extremely clear to Lucas and any labs folks that might be watching, I'm committed to the lab. I also believe that is the most important thing that we are doing here right now, is increasing the general public's knowledge when they go to make a purchase decision.
And we have learning to do.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
We have lots of learning to do.
But we are working on it, and it is a goal, whether it's a 12-year goal or whether it's a 12-month goal, or realistically it's both, because it's always a moving target. But what this is going to be an indicator for me of is, what the ceiling is on that, what the cap is on it. I hope that it's really high. I hope that people care a lot. And I know the videos are not perfect right now. We've got the like AI voice, but I've seen people critical of it. Like, can't you even pay a voiceover actor to do the thing? And I'm like, no, I can't, because when we get
this channel doesn't exist without that
4.8 thousand views on something that is literally like, I don't know, $20. I mean, I'm not hiring anyone to do anything for $20 involved in any of this. The testing is human. The testing is done by qualified, skilled human.
It's not really a financial play.
No.
Just with the testing being human, you already lose money on this many.
Every single one.
Not even close.
Every single one. But it has a value.
It's not about that.
I have personally, in terms of just like the emotional burden that it lifts from me of not having to worry when we talk about a power supply in one of our videos, because I know that Lucas looked at it. Like I'll buy the power supply tester again. Hire Lucas again. Like that alone is 100% worth it for me. Yep. Oh, Emily Seddon's watching WAN Show today, says, yay, PSU Circuit. Nice.
She does a lot of work there.
Yeah. Keep it up, you guys. This is important. Anyway, we've got an LTT coming where we're going to be looking at the test suite and like really talking about it. And there's a full dedicated video promoting it. So I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
But other than that, I think I'm just not going to give a anymore then.
Nice. Will you read less comments along with that?
Nope.
Ugh.
I'm addicted. You know it.
For Yvonne's sake?
No. I mean, that's typical addict behavior. That's actually how you can define addictive behavior, is that regardless of the impact on yourself and others, you continue doing it. I am addicted to comments.
I still remember we were out kayaking and you were trying to read comments while we were kayaking.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You don't even remember that?
I don't remember it, but it checks out.
Probably because you're reading comments.
Yeah, probably. No, I mean, I remember kayaking.
Yeah.
I don't remember reading comments while I was doing it. It's unconscious. It's like, dude.
It's a lot.
I mean, look, there are worse vices.
Yeah.
Just saying.
By a lot.
I could have way worse vices.
Significantly.
If that's my vice, it's like, hi, I'm Linus, and I'm addicted to YouTube. I mean, come on. Like, it could be worse. It could be worse.
It could. I will give you that. But it could also be better.
You know what else could be better?
The segue to our sponsor?
Squarespace. When browsing the web, you might stumble upon Uncle Linus's site, Dennis's dog yoga page, or even Linus Media Group's homepage. They all have one thing in common. They were built with our sponsor, Squarespace. It's an all-in-one website platform where you can get your site up and running in just minutes. With their beautiful layouts and styling options, building a site is as simple as dragging and dropping, no coding experience required. All you have to do is pick a template that fits your needs, and it will look great on any device. Instead of using multiple different programs for different tasks, you can do it all on Squarespace. I'm talking invoicing, marketing, scheduling, and more. And Squarespace's new AI tools can even help you generate an email campaign with a simple prompt. They also support all major credit cards and other payment methods, making it effortless for Uncle Linus's online store to... What are we selling? What is this? Okay, no, that's just... Okay, to make money. Cool. So start building your website today and get 10% off your first purchase by visiting squarespace.com/WAN. The show is also brought to you by Vessi. Is your Porsche running slow on a snowy day?
What?
What the heck am I... Don't worry. Our sponsor, Vessi, will let you run through the snow with no chills. Vessi's Dymatex technology keeps your socks dry while staying breathable, lightweight, and stretchy. Plus, they look way more stylish than clunky rubber rain boots. Check out the Weekend Chelsea. They keep your socks dry even when you're kicking up snow or splashing through puddles. Plus, their high-top design offers extra protection. Even in the coldest conditions, Vessi helps keep your feet warm with their temperature-regulating, breathable knit design, which is why many of our team members wear them every day. Thanks to their versatility, Vessi has become Dennis's go-to travel shoes. They're soft, comfortable, and perfect for long walks. And they actually saved Dennis's socks several times during sudden afternoon rainstorms in Thailand. Make every moment this February unforgettable with Vessi by going to vessi.com/LTT, where you will get an automatic 15% off your first order at checkout. Finally, the show is brought to you by DeleteMe. Do you enjoy random midnight calls, annoying sales pitches, or even the risk of getting hacked? If not, why do you leave your personal data exposed online? You know, your name, address, phone number, details about your loved ones. Well, with our sponsor, DeleteMe, you can actually remove your data from hundreds of data brokers. Their team of experts tracks down your information and gets it wiped from these sites. Back in 2023, Dennis's first report showed his data was listed on 7 sites, including a lot of sensitive details. But in December 2024, DeleteMe had removed it all. Unlike Colton over here, found his phone number in seconds. Oh, really? Okay, well anyway, DeleteMe keeps scanning these sites regularly and will send you a report to help you keep track of where your information is removed. So stop walking around the internet naked. Protect your privacy with DeleteMe. You can check them out at the link below today and use code LTT20 to get 20% off. All right. I need to run to the washroom, so Luke's going to pick a thing. Haha.
How about a merch message for Luke?
Oh, nice. Wow, thank you.
I have one queued up already.
All right.
Luke, you said avoiding news felt wrong. Why? Any tips for balance? My wife follows it all, and I ignore it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, this feels like a pre-show topic more than a main show topic, but that didn't used to be true, so let's send it anyways. I don't know. I feel like being completely ignorant of what's happening in the world is not good. I appreciate personally being able to hold a conversation about as many things as possible with as many people as possible. It's something I've always tried to do, like be at least informed enough to talk about something with as many people as you can. I feel like there's a really effective way to learn is being able to have a conversation with someone about something. So if you completely just stick your head into the ground and and completely ignore everything happening in the world, I feel like you're just contributing to your own ignorance. At the same time, if you let yourself be heavily and deeply manipulated by the multi-billion, tens of billions, many thousands, tens of thousands of people who are employed and spending incredible amounts of money to effectively mind control you, into reading more and scrolling more and never leaving apps and spending money in different ways and doing things like that, that you are also just letting yourself be used. So I would employ personally, like something that I do is time control methods. So like almost every app that could do something like that to me on my phone has a time limit on it where it will close if I keep it open for too long. A major frustration that I have with that is that all of those, in my experience, unless all of those that are built into my phone, you might have a different experience. Maybe you know of some app that handles this better for you, but I don't have an external app for it. The ones built into my phone naturally, it's far too easy to bypass. So either you have enough willpower, I don't personally have a problem with this, but either you have enough willpower to listen to it when it tells you that, oh, you've spent 15 minutes in the YouTube app, you should get out. Or if you can't, find a more severe method that will not allow you to keep going. But yeah, I think it's just have more control of your own life, but don't completely stick your head in the ground. I think you should know what's happening in the world. I think you should be informed. But I think just reading negative news for 12 hours a day, which is legitimately something a lot of people actually effectively do, is horrifying for your brain. It's really, really, really bad for your brain. So go touch some grass, go do something else, spend time with people in your life in person. There's a lot of things. I talked about this before, but like automated checkouts, automated everything. There's a lot of ways these days to not interact with people. And then you're interacting with AI systems often that are overly nice to you. So I think as a people, we are like losing our ability to understand that everyone else is going through horrifying things every day as well. Like if you think you have problems, everybody has problems, right? And I think we kind of lose that empathy when you're not interfacing with people often. You don't experience that. So yeah, again, I don't know. Find your own middle ground. Use tools to fight, because the way that I've described this in the past is the world is a constant PvP environment. There is no escaping it ever. So understand that there are more money than you could ever possibly properly fathom, and tens and tens of thousands, maybe, I don't even know, amount of people trying to fight actively for your attention and your time. And you should try to win that as much as you can. That doesn't mean you should completely ignore it, but you should try to win that. Control your own time. Don't let yourself spiral. Don't let yourself death scroll or whatever it's called. Doom scroll. And get out of that. And then hopefully your life's better. And he's back.
And part of that also merch message for Linus. When are you doing more women's underwear?
We had a long conversation about that on one of my Mondays off. You know how I'm off on Mondays.
Like Luke takes vacation?
I had like Yeah. I had like a 3-hour meeting with the merge team. And one of the things that we discussed was, what the heck is our strategy going to be for women's apparel? And the challenge is that I think the fashion team did an outstanding job. The women's clothing, obviously I don't wear it, but I live with someone who wears it regularly and who, let me put it this way, can afford nice clothes. Even though she's often too cheap to buy them. But anyway, my wife, she can afford perfectly nice clothes, and she has some very nice clothes, and often gravitates towards her women's underwear, our women's underwear and bras and clothes and stuff. Loves it. So I think the fashion team did just an outstanding job of the design of the product. But there's nothing that they can do about the fact that our viewer demographics are like 97% male or 96% male or whatever it works out to. So with that in mind, our women's products have not been commercially very successful. We've sold some, we'd move a little bit at launch and like it would trickle out a little bit over time, and then we'd have to kind of blow it away. And that's not profitable. That's not sustainable. So part of Taryn's sort of look at what exactly the crap it is that we're doing, in the various parts of our business in the last, it's been almost 2 years since he started.
Feels like it's been longer.
Has been trying to be a little bit more focused and intentful in our product launches. How do we control risk? How do we mitigate that calculated risk that we're taking with an exit strategy for any project, right? Whether it's women's underwear, whether it's a, weird elaborate video idea, whatever it is, how do we mitigate that risk? And so we have, as part of that, as sort of taking a step back and looking and going, okay, well, what are we doing right now? We paused some women's apparel projects that were on their way to being launched, and we blew out and didn't reorder some of the ones that were not selling and were not sustainable or profitable for the business. However, in the 3-hour meeting, we had a longer conversation about, hey, you guys enjoy working on these. You enjoy wearing them. A lot of the fashion team is women and like making products that they can use, right? Like, who doesn't? That's something that as a company, we want to try to support, right? But we have to do things that are sustainable and make sense. So how do we do that? And one of the things that I kind of pitched them is like, okay, we have a product that you guys know is great, that I know is great because Yvonne freaking loves hers and says they're competitive with brands that cost literally like 40%, 80% more. Why don't we get this one over the line? And when I push it to the audience, when I present it to the audience, I'm basically going to do it in a bit of a different way. And I'm going to kind of go, look, guys, I'm not going to, ask you to buy this if you don't need one. If you like this category of product, I'm not sure if I want to tell you guys what it is yet, but whatever it is, if you guys like this category of product and you happen to buy one,
I have no idea what this is for them.
If you like it, please do something so we can keep making it. Tell somebody, gift it to somebody.
We recently did, sponsoring other tech creators. Would you ever sponsor demographics on YouTube that are more like female shifted? I don't necessarily know what they would be.
Tough. Maybe it's like my own insecurity, but I kind of look at it and I go like, who wants a clothing sponsorship from us? Because we don't have a full
people who like money,
but we don't have a full lineup.
Everyone.
How do I? Yeah, but I can't.
Why do they care?
I can't do like an underwear sponsorship and then have people land on our site and the only thing we have is underwear. Like it's hard to get the ball rolling. We're not really a feminine clothing brand. And so we're not going to get the ROI out. I can tell you right now, we are not going to get the ROI out of that sponsorship at all. Not even close. We're basically just gifting money. Which I mean, sure, we will do and have done sponsorships for our products that we knew were just essentially just gifting the money.
I'm saying this, I know you're aware.
Yeah.
A lot of marketing isn't about the measurable ROI from that piece of marketing.
Oh, I know.
I'm saying this mostly for them.
There's the whole funnel, awareness, and blah, 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 blah. I get it. But even from an awareness perspective,
Yeah.
when I say ROI, I don't necessarily mean money. I mean some return.
Here's a weird idea.
Sure.
You know, I'm not trying to go. Most of the world is in hetero relationships. I'm not saying everyone is, but what if you did it shortly before like Father's Day or something? So they would go there to buy their own underwear or whatever, and then see that there's other potential gifts that they could buy, or shortly before Christmas.
I don't know.
Because it could be for their husband or their partner, or it could be for a dad.
Yeah.
Who knows? Valentine's Day, that's a pretty good one.
The issue is not selling the men's stuff, though. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, but you're doing that marketing anyways.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, maybe you can double dip slightly.
I think that's something that I would have to lean on, like Sammy and Artie and Dave and stuff to kind of look at, because that's beyond my expertise. One
of our problems is that we make really killer stuff, but not everyone really knows about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And if our demographic is only 4% women,
I can check that.
And then we make women's stuff. Like, very few of the women of the world are going to know that we made this. So, like, at a certain point, we have to tell them.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I will need at least some of your help. You know what? Screw it. They're yoga pants. They're really good. They're like killer. And obviously, like, we have kind of a tech angle on it. They have decent pockets. Whoa. So it would be pretty cool. And it's a great product. We'd already done multiple sample rounds, and like it was essentially done. And then we were just like, we pumped the brakes. So we're gonna do it, and help us out.
Chat's freaking out about the pockets.
Well, yeah, of course they are. Because like we care.
You should have just said that.
What?
What?
Dan in floatplane chat, instead of just saying it, said, "I need to get back into doing squats." Then.
Yoga pants, programming socks. We got a gym at Smash Champs. This is going to be a good year.
Wait, we have programming socks?
Oh, no, we should.
We should.
I'd be down.
We totally should.
We totally should.
I'd be down. So I was pretty bang on. 95.5% male, 3.3% female, 1.2% user specified. So there you go. Hey, there's the age demo, in case you guys were wondering. No, LTT is not for kids. It's for 25 to 34s.
Ah, you're lying.
I know. It's always funny to see people, like, knowledgeably talk about how the discerning viewer watches whatever, and LTT is for children. No, it's not. It's just for people who have a sense of fucking humor. All right, what else we got today?
I have 2 more merch messages for
we're still
you.
on merch message. Good Lord. All right, hit me.
I just bought a UPS to protect my setup. How does it clean up Ethernet and coax? I understand the electrical waves, but the internet ports confuse me. I'm an avid fan waiting for a work promotion to join Flowplane.
Have never understood or used them.
Actually, exactly the same for me. I kind of thought it was almost like
Isn't it grounding isolation or something?
just a bridging point.
I don't know.
I thought like you just want all your cables going there. I've never used either of them.
I have no idea.
We are a bad resource for this question. I apologize.
Cool. Yeah. Go ask on Quora.
Maybe it's just for surges over Ethernet?
Yeah, but if it hits your house with the internet that is in the house,
You got the tubes.
You got too
Series
much
of
data.
tubes.
There's too much data.
Data
Whole
surge.
data pack.
it can only do 1 gig. You're setting it 1.4. It's going to explode.
Ox Champion says, I've had a surge at a workplace that fried some Ethernet ports. I'm like, okay.
Coax makes sense too.
But like Ethernet would have to be, like, it would have to,
Lightning maybe?
comms, like data transfer. Like, what,
Yeah.
if you plug like 10 gig in, is it going to 10 gig? I doubt it. I don't know. What a wonderful question. Yeah. Chicken Sloop says my Eaton only does 100 megabit per second on its protected jack. Yeah, see that could be a problem.
What is that for?
Induced voltage into the line, maybe?
I don't know.
How does that work with PoE?
That seems so crazy, though.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to live on the wild side. If my Ethernet port gets fried, I'm going to do something.
Make a video about it.
I'm going to get an Ethernet card and I'm going to put it in my computer.
Dang.
In current
Crazy
year?
moves.
I know.
Crazy moves.
People aren't going to like it. They're going to be like, look at Linus with this bougie Ethernet card.
What a loser!
Flexing his Ethernet card like some kind of chode.
You would probably get a ridiculous one.
Guys, I'm going to get a killer Nick.
Remember when they had the big K's on them?
This guy
Still have one.
he's got
Really?
so much money he can afford
Oh,
copper.
you got the necklace.
You got the necklace?
I've got a necklace.
A necklace?
That is a killer Nick
Have you
K
seen those?
heatsink.
That is sick. 1%er stuff.
I think
I mean, he got that when he was far below 1%. No offense to
1% grind set's on mindset, Luke. He's always been there.
This is it.
That is actually cool
how did you
as
find
hell.
that picture?
Oh my god.
Oh, someone else has one?
Yeah, these were a thing.
I mean, I know the heatsink was a thing. I didn't think the necklaces were a thing.
Yeah. I knew about the necklace before I saw yours.
That's hilarious. I had no idea. Yeah.
I don't know, like,
That is the coolest thing.
Someone
much
is
of a
selling
thing they
this
were.
right now?
it looks
Dude,
like
I
it.
want another one.
Yeah, get it.
$35.
Someone else is going to buy it.
This is
before
going to
you.
be sold so fast now,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
This
it's gonna be
is
gone.
sold immediately.
Yeah.
They were crazy to mark it down from $50 because they would have easy got $50.
They didn't know they were going to randomly end up on WAN show.
Got them.
But yeah, this is the man. This looked crazy back in the day.
I need to start turning some of my old crap that has cool logos on it into jewelry.
Yeah, that would be a cool trick. You should turn some tricks.
Yeah. There's a guy in my life who's going to get very angry if I start doing that off the side, but how about another merch message?
Does he have a feathered cap?
You don't know that. This hat is not relevant. Hey, LLD, odds on the Nvidia Shield 2 happening. If not, we will be stuck with an ad-infested boxes from Google or Amazon or Apple, or will someone else make a top competitor with decent specs and AI features?
I think I've talked about my conspiracy theory that Nvidia just doesn't bother until Nintendo orders a bunch of SoCs in bulk, and then they'll just like use that or something. That's my theory. I think that the Shield 2 is going to be like a modified Switch 2. And
That's
it'll run
actually
Android.
that seems like a pretty legit theory. It's sold, really? Someone already bought it?
Of course it is.
And it's gone.
Yeah, the Shield is overkill,
Wait,
Campbell,
is it?
for certain things, but we need it updated for AI upscaling.
It's gone.
Because I think it only does AI upscaling up to I forget the resolutions that it works at, but it needs more. Believe it or not, it's like the one product in my life that I'm like, needs more AI. Because the upscaling on it is really good now, but it could be better. Yeah, I know it just got its first firmware update in like 2 years. And it fixes some small bugs, but there's still some stuff because it's still on HDMI 1.4. If I recall, wait, is it HDMI 1.4? NVIDIA Shield Pro HDMI. Why is 2.1 autocomplete? Does not have an HDMI 2.1. Well, yeah, I forget. I think it's HDMI 1.4. Is it? It's not 2.0, is it? Guys, tell me. Tell me in chat. I forget. What HDMI? Oh no, it's 2.0. It can do 4K 60. But anyway, I want HDMI 2.1. I want more AI. And other than that, I don't think I really care. I mean, it'd be nice if it could run Android games better, but I don't really play those on it.
So this I found.
Now people are telling me it's 1.4. Now, which one is it? I know it's got to be 2.0, doesn't it? Help me out, guys.
I found the. Like, what is this? Hold on one second. This is a 2007 tech promo for
2.0 apparently.
2.0.
Okay.
So the 2007 tech promo for killer networking cards. Winning is speed. Winning is performance. Winning is killer. Ultimate ping, ping throttle, max FPS, game first. Whoa.
Dude.
It was so serious. They were very serious.
Now
about
I just
everything.
don't install their drivers because they make my computer worse.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, the mighty fall.
Dan, do you want to give me some audio?
Sure.
Okay, we ready?
I think so.
Oh, let's go!
That should be playing, yeah.
It's not just a network card. It's a
Online
killer.
games get better all the time.
I knew that voice was coming.
That's a good voice.
About your network card. Stop handicapping yourself. The Killer Gaming Network card.
Oh, it's been 14 years.
Here's how it works. Killer bypasses your slower network stack and offloads to Killer's own Linux computer on a card.
Whoa!
And Killer has been optimized for online gaming performance. It's not just a network card, it's a killer.
Yeah. Yeah. And they sold tons of these. I personally know at least 2 people that bought them literally just because they looked cool. I'm not kidding. Figured it out after
Really?
the fact. Yep. You know one of them. I bet you can guess.
Shut up.
Don't, but I bet you can guess.
All I'll say is one letter. The letter is H.
I knew he would get it. The other person was his friend. Anyways,
Online games get better all the time. But what about your network card? It's a killer.
oh man.
I will never forget this video.
Oh yeah.
I will never forget it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Are we still doing merch messages?
No, now just do topics
Okay,
until
okay.
you're done.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Tech plane update. Speaking of not giving any f***s anymore. Actually, no, let's do that later. Let's get through the real topics first.
Okay. What do we still have?
The UK will not tighten laws to protect against games being shut down. In a lengthy response to a petition created in response to Ubisoft's shutdown of The Crew, the UK government announced that it has no plans to change consumer laws around digital obsolescence. The government went on to explain that the game companies are bound by existing consumer protection legislation, including 2015's the Consumer Rights Act and 2008's Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations. And if customers are led to believe a game will remain playable indefinitely for certain systems, despite the end of physical support, the CPR may require the game to remain technically feasible, for example, available offline to play under those circumstances. Opinion, Jordan Block. The government's response spent a lot of time government-splaining that businesses need to make money, but it also appears that they think existing laws may be enough if they are properly enforced, which someone would have to force them to do, which seems very unlikely at this time. Also, UK related, but the UK has demanded access to Apple users' encrypted data. The Washington Post reports that the UK Home Office has demanded that Apple create a backdoor to allow government access to encrypted data stored on iCloud by Apple users worldwide using what Apple called Advanced Data Protection, or ADP. The demand was made under the UK Investigatory Powers Act of 2016, which makes it a criminal offense to reveal that the government has ever made such a demand. Apple can appeal, I think. Oh, what? Apple can appeal to a secret technical panel, but cannot delay complying during an appeal.
Whoa.
No way. The US government has previously asked for this, but Apple has pointedly refused. Currently, only the Apple account holder can access data stored in this way. Apple itself cannot view it. Apple has previously said it would pull encryption services like ADP from the UK market rather than comply with such government demands, telling Parliament it would never build a backdoor in its products. However, pulling encryption services is worse, in my opinion. The UK and FBI in particular have said that encryption lets terrorists and child abusers hide more easily. Tech companies have pushed back, stressing a right to privacy and personal communication, and arguing that backdoors for law enforcement are often exploited by criminals and can be abused by authoritarian regimes.
I don't know if I agree about the pulling encryption thing, and let me explain why. 'Cause
Sure.
on the surface level, I do think I agree with you, but if they build a back door, I think that gives other parties like the FBI a stronger argument for like, hey, give us that too.
Sure, But like,
I think if they're just like, we are literally never doing that, then they don't open that box.
Sure,
they
but
don't open that door.
if they just take away ADP, then that gives
For
the U.S.
specifically that
government the ability to say, hey, take it away here too. I don't know. I think it's the exact same thing personally.
I think they're less likely to do that though, because the
Think
U.S.
so?
government supports encryption.
I mean, the U.S. government seems to change its stance
what
on it.
they do?
Every 4 years, the U.S. government does a 180 because the last guy loved it. Well,
Fair
I
enough.
fucking hate it.
A few months ago, the
So-
U.S. government supported encryption. Who knows what they do now?
Discussion question.
Yeah.
This is Linus. Who are the good guys at this point?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, UK, keep UK in. AMD has outsold Intel in the data center for the first time ever.
Genuinely crazy.
On Tuesday, AMD announced their Q4 2024 earnings, and for the first time, they beat Intel in the data center. Their revenue in Q4 2024 was $7.858 billion, up 24% year over year, and their data center business accounted for nearly half of that, totaling $3.89 billion, a nice 69% increase year over year. The funny thing about this is that Intel's data center revenue was $3.4 billion, making it the first time in history. Oh, no, this is just the same thing again. Anyway, that said, analysts were expecting more from AMD, with their Instinct MI300 series AI GPUs failing to catch on. This is like, why can't people just be like, why can't we just celebrate wins?
That's an insane historical win. I am disappointed.
Absolutely wild.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to do one?
Sure. Tech plane update. I'm kidding.
Not yet.
Let's see here. Oh, there's not much left.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're pretty close.
UK, AMD, tech plane, Google thing.
Why are you reading all of the collapsed ones?
Rooster Teeth is under management. Rooster Teeth Media Company and Rooster Teeth, the media company and YouTube channel, was shut down last year on May 15th, 2024, after a slow decline in viewership. 2 days ago, February 5th, the YouTube channel posted a video titled Homecoming, which was actually, it was pretty good, which shows original co-founder Bernie Burns, amazing name, walking back into the original building that was the Rooster Teeth office, as well as a blog post that was posted on their website stating that he and his wife Ashley have acquired Rooster Teeth. The direction Rooster Teeth will be taken going forward is still unclear. The only things that are confirmed are the following. It is just Bernie and his wife that purchased and are working at this time, no other past employees, and only a couple of their IPs have been purchased, such as Red vs. Blue, Camp, and the RT podcast. Discussion question.
Good for them.
If Linus Media Group had gone through the same fate, being bought out and slowly died, do you think you would want to walk back in and repurchase it to try and revive it? And I think you would. Even though I think
You're not
right
even
now...
gonna let me answer?
No, I'm going to answer for you. I'm going to say that I think you would. Because even if you might say no right now, you have never let NCIX go. And at this point in time, you've worked here longer. So what? Bring it. You going to walk? I don't think so. If it gets trashed, you'd be sitting there like, I could bring it back. I could do it. I know it.
I still want to bring NCIX back.
Yeah, this is my point. There is no way. I don't care what you say. If you try to say you wouldn't, I don't believe you at all.
I might make another offer.
Exactly. That's why I was so confident I could answer that.
It's hard for me to put myself in those shoes, though, because at this point, having not taken the offer,
Yeah.
I just don't think I'd sell. I
don't think it's going to happen. Yeah.
I think I'd just walk away and just.
If you were going to, I feel like it was that one.
I think I'd mothball it. Like that felt like the time.
That was the one.
Yeah.
If it was going to be one, that was the one.
Yeah. But then I don't know. Hearing you talk about like what are you going to be doing in 12 years? It's hard to imagine myself, making YouTuber thumbnail faces in 12 years, right? Like I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Who knows? But like seriously, and people might disagree with this. In my opinion, transformative tech has slowed down dramatically. If we try to look at the 12 years that happened from when we were 10 to 22,
Crazy.
not even close.
It's crazy.
We're still using desktops,
Yeah.
Phones came out, we're still using phones.
Yeah.
Most usage is on phones now. They just do a lot more stuff.
We have smartwatches now, which is just a smaller phone.
Yeah.
Which is just a smaller desktop.
Strapped to your wrist.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Part of me wants to be like, is, online roughly this shape or roughly this shape video even still going to be a thing? But then transformative tech is really slowed down. So I don't know.
I'm telling you, last week, cybernetics. We're doing legs.
Does Linus become a VTuber, but like no, actually, because that's what everyone is now?
No, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
That is something that we have. Like I've spoken with Taryn about sort of that being a trend that I've kind of identified. It's something that we talked about as a potential direction for short circuit, for PSU Circuit. So we went with just the top-down product view AI voice, but an evolution of that could be a VTuber host.
Power Man.
And would this be like an LTT branded character that you would do?
I don't know.
That's what I was trying to imagine.
Yeah.
I came up with Power Man.
Power Man.
Probably. Who do you have host that?
Probably not the best choice in the current political climate, but yeah,
To me,
good idea,
like,
Luke.
Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Anyway, cool. So, what are we talking about?
We were talking about Rooster Teeth and their revival, and if you would
would I do it?
Group.
I'm gonna say no. They were out for 5 years. 5 years is a long time, and
Wait, what? Rooster Teeth?
No, Bernie. He left like 2020 or something like that, like before the swirling the toilet for all these years. Maybe I would. I don't know.
You totally would. You totally would.
I don't know, but he's just in like himself and his wife. Like okay,
You
you're telling
wouldn't
me
do that.
You telling no.
You'd try to get
like
the
you're
gang
not
back
still
together.
here. Oh yeah. Okay.
You would try to ring the gong and get the gang back together. I am 1,000% confident in how you would do this. I know. I would get a Discord message at 1 a.m. Be like, hey, what if we bought it back? What if we did it, dude? We could do it. We get WAN show back together. Message Dan.
I'd be there.
And this is why, because
You know it
too.
You know it. I hope you know it.
I do.
So
know
would
it.
you join him? Yeah, and that's why you would. And that's why
We'll get the band back together. Only fly back from Mars.
I'll float my super yacht. I'll float my super gamer yacht back, and then take the gamer plane, and then we'll get it going again.
All right, let's talk about Google's foray into screwing the Pixel 4a. That's really funny, by the way. Who wrote this? Adam, of course it was. Earlier this month, Google pushed an unexpected automatic update to the end-of-life Pixel 4a. What new features does it bring? Lower battery life. According to a post on the Pixel support blog, certain Pixel 4a devices will receive an update that includes new battery management features to improve the stability of your battery's performance so the battery may last for shorter periods between charges. Why? Well, the support document doesn't give a reason. Ars Technica reached out to Google, but as of the time of writing, hasn't received any clarification. But it turns out that it wasn't a small reduction, with several users reporting a halving of battery life, and some reporting less than 2 hours of battery life. Adam said it is not clear what the proportion of screen on time to idle time is in those cases, though. Ars Technica noted that this is similar to what Apple did with their iPhones before 2017, only Google seems to want to get out in front of it and be transparent rather than waiting until they get sued. Google is offering affected owners free battery replacement, $50 of cash money, or $100 in Google Store credit towards a new Pixel phone. All of these options seem to have issues. Some users who received the battery swap are reporting that they still have limited capacity. Google has removed the old firmware from their website, making it more difficult for users to roll back using a trusted source. That sucks. And users who want the cash use a service called Payoneer, which asks for your social security number, checking account details, and other personal information, and also charges $30 a year to accounts that receive less than $2,000 per 12 months, meaning that users need to make sure to cancel their accounts. Finally, the Google Store credit only applies to Pixel phones and can't be combined with other products on sale.
Yikes.
Big yikes. Finally, other than TechPlane, a viewer finds an LTT bottle lid on a non-LTT bottle.
Yeah, this was weird.
Went to clean a bottle I bought from the gym and saw this. So as you guys know, recently we developed a new and improved version of our our twist top spout lid. It has the threads on the outside now. So on the outside rather than the inside to make it easier to clean. And it has, you can see them, they're very distinctive, these nice little pull tabs for both this O-ring and actually the second O-ring in here to make them easier to clean. It's also more durable. People hate it when I do this, but that's why I do it anyway. It's really hard to break, the handle part.
I like it. I think you just might want to mute the mics next time.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, it's really good. And someone got it on a water bottle that was not from LTTStore. From Nick Light. There are a few potential options here. One could be that the factory that produces our lids is using our mold without our approval, which is bad because A, that's our IP that we designed, and B, it wears out the mold. Molds have a limited shelf life. They last for a long time, but they do have a limited shelf life, so they should not do that. One other possibility is that this gym might have just bought a bunch of our lids and put them on water bottles. It's not a secret that our threads are the same as Hydro Flask and a number of
quite a few others,
water bottle brands. So if you have one of the water bottles that uses these threads, you can buy this excellent lid from LTTStore and you can put it on it. Mind you, if you want a new water bottle, we'd obviously think maybe you should get ours or
both.
Whatever. Yeah, sure. You could, get a nice water bottle. We don't know for sure what's going on right now, but we do know that is definitely our lid because it's definitely our mold with definitely our logo on it. Cool.
And if it's a gym that's just reselling them, then that's completely fine.
That's totally fine. In fact, maybe reach out to customer support and maybe we can, get you a bulk deal on it or something. I don't know.
I suspect that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So, TechPlane.
Yeah.
Have I disclosed on WAN show what the message was that I showed you that we were like, what? At the end when we were talking about the TechPlane?
You have not.
I have not. Okay. I'm not going to name any names.
Okay.
But someone who works at Linus Media Group has a close acquaintance who it turns out owns a freaking private jet.
Sick.
And happens to be interested in offloading said private jet.
No, it's not Dan.
No, we're not going to.
We're not doing any more clarification.
Yeah,
it's not
no
Dan.
further clarification. It's Dan. It's not Dan. It's not Dan.
I'm the boat guy.
I was going to say.
I explained that.
I think that's why people keep saying that. But
it might be Dan.
He's the boat guy.
I might have planes too. You don't know that. You don't know what I'm about.
I was shocked. I was shocked at the affordability of a private jet. It's not something that I have personally looked into.
That is a reasonable statement for what he's talking about.
It is. It is. Luke, I've looked at them and I've been like, whoa, these are like $30 million.
I don't think affordability is the correct word to use in that
It's
sentence.
all relative. The research I'd done in the past.
That's why I laughed.
The research I'd done.
That is precisely why I laughed.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish here. Let me finish.
I don't know.
Let me finish. Every time I'd looked at it, I've been like, what private jet does Taylor Swift, fly or whatever? And it's like anywhere from like 30 to 50, 60
as
million
much as you want to be,
dollars.
you're not actually Taylor Swift.
I know.
They're so alike,
by the way,
though.
sorry.
But
I'm going to
my
take this.
thighs, though. I think my thighs are about as big as hers.
I need to take this
yours are bigger.
opportunity because when you were talking earlier, you said your shake it off thing, and I wanted to let you keep talking, but I had to ask this. You mentioned wife bum slap. Wife slapping your bum, to be clear.
Yeah.
And saying, where'd your butt go after your wisdom teeth?
Cake
because you lost weight.
It's cake bum.
Has the cake returned? I think that people need to know.
No, I'm still like 7 pounds
cake
down.
Is not returned.
Yeah, like 7.5 pounds down.
You gotta eat more and do squats at the gym.
I know, right?
You gotta get the cake back.
Well, I'm on the Stairmaster like every other day, so I just need to eat more.
Then you're doing it. Yeah.
Get some yoga pants in you. You'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Anyway, so Taylor Swift. So I was shocked at the relative affordability of like a jet, because I thought a private jet is just like millions and millions of dollars.
People are going to hear that and they're going to think relative to you, not relative to other planes.
I'm going to give them a number.
Okay.
I'm going to give them a number.
And they're going to be like, wow, how is that affordable to anyone?
It was under $1 million
wow.
for a jet, not like a propeller plane, like a jet that would seat like 9 people.
So is this like... I know it's not.
See, people are actually like, they get it now.
Yeah, I know it's not, but Vancouver real estate is so bad that you can like live there instead of an apartment.
Yeah,
the problem would be you can't.
There's a 2-bedroom house across the street from me that's $1.8 million.
See,
the problem is you can't park it anywhere.
See, this is what I'm talking about, you guys.
In Vancouver, is it cheaper to fly a jet to work than live?
I think it would be cheaper to live in the jet.
This is what I'm saying.
You wouldn't pay property tax.
So look, I was very surprised when I first heard the price, and I was like, "Excuse me, pardon."
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was more than
No. It's a private ass corporate jet that did like over Mach 0.8 or whatever.
Do you buy
like,
a townhouse in
like
an hour away from Vancouver suburbia? Or
hear me out,
a jet.
a private jet.
That is so stupid.
So that was
I'm dying.
That was so I was looking at that going, oh well, hold on a second. Tech plane?
Yeah.
Tech plane? Because like that's not bad, bones to start with. Now, obviously, you're going to need to look into maintenance records and it's not in Canada. So let me explain why the deal is dead. And therefore the tech plane project may be dead.
Sure.
It's not in Canada.
That's a big problem.
Transport Canada, apparently, and this is from talking to my uncle. My uncle's been in the aviation industry for like 40,000 years.
Oh, wow. He's very old.
More like 40.
Oh.
So my uncle's he's done corporate, he's done commercial. He has owned an aircraft for himself. He does firefighting now. So he's basically...
Oh, does he do the like...
Yeah.
Those are so sick, dude.
He was talking...
Those are so sick.
I was talking to him about it because I was chatting with him about this right after we talked about it on WAN show for the LA fires.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah. Like, he's so nonchalant about it.
No, those are amazing.
I'm like, dude, that's so cool. He's like, we're not that close to the ground. He gives me the number. I'm like, that's really close to the ground. No, that's
insane. So I went on a trip a weekend or two ago. I don't know. Time is an illusion. With Emma and her family to see some of their cousins or whatever. And while we're going on the trip, I'm just showing clips to her dad of all these like sick Canadian and others like water bombers going over the LA fires, and we were just nerding out over it the whole time. So cool. He might not think it's cool because he does it all the time. It is sick. It is objectively sick.
So anyway, he's been around the block.
All right.
He's been around the turbine a little bit, so to speak.
Yeah.
And he basically goes, just because something's airworthy in America does not mean it is airworthy in Canada.
Okay, is this because Canada's more stringent or just because the rules are different?
Both.
Okay.
So, for example, he told me about this one plane that's a triple engine plane. You got 2 on the sides and you've got one that's like embedded in the tail.
Yeah.
And he goes, in the United States, that's kosher. Totally cool. In Canada, you need what's called I forget what he calls it. It's not like barrier ring or like a guardian ring, or you need basically around the turbine, you need this reinforcement ring that goes around it that's made out of, and he gave me a couple examples of materials. I'm not going to try and tell you guys what the materials were, but basically it goes, so here's the situation. You want to take an American plane that was built to American standards with one of those on it, bring it up into Canada, you're pulling off that engine. You're buying this ring for like 20 grand, 30
Incredible
grand.
money.
Who knows?
It's
right?
aviation, so it just immediately goes up.
You're installing that ring on the engine. You're putting the engine back on. You're into this for tens of thousands of dollars if you're lucky. And that's just one example.
GM Shippo in Flowplane chat said the plane that crashed in Philly last week had been flagged by Canada before it crashed. Dang.
Transport Canada, basically from him talking about them, it seems like they're a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's overall a good thing.
In the way that you'd probably want them to be.
It's overall seems like a good thing. Draco Nightwalker says it's called a cowl, so make of that what you will. I have no idea if that's right. That's not what he called it, but sure, cowl, fine. Okay. Concern number 2. As you can imagine, a sub $1 million private jet, probably a little on the older side, right? And he was telling me parts availability for these things, never mind parts cost. Parts availability for these things can be a big challenge. And he was telling me, so he's down in Australia right now, working firefighting. And he was telling me about just totally unrelated plane, unrelated story, but basically just this older plane that he knows someone who has it grounded because he needs a fuel pump for it. And he goes, yeah, this fuel pump, about the size of your fist. So bigger than mine, but a little bigger than this. Let's say like that. And they finally tracked one down. Plane's been grounded for months. 60 grand. Because you, that's why.
This is the only one you're going to get.
Because this is the only one that exists. Because this is the thing. This is the thing. These planes, right? They don't actually make that many of them. Like a successful model of plane, they might make hundreds of. You know what I mean? An unsuccessful model of plane, they might make more like dozens of. And so when you look up like a model of plane on Wikipedia or whatever, it'll be like, yeah, they built 322 of these, of which, these ones, because it's all registered and it's all tracked and everything.
Extremely tracked.
Of which, 10 of them crashed and this many of them did this and this many are grounded for this reason. And so for these older planes, what some people end up doing is they actually they go and buy a parts plane. It's actually more economical to go buy an entirely separate, second plane and just park it so that when something breaks, they can just pull one off and hope that one works.
Their own private scrapyard.
MMGF says old Learjets are cheap because the engines have to be retrofitted to be quiet and the cost is millions. So we've got the concern about parts availability. We've got the concern about getting the bloody thing into Canada in the first place, which even if everything's totally fine, is going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars in inspections and validation and certification and everything.
And the most popular plane ever made, it was only 144,000 of them.
Yeah.
Kynap said in Flowplane chat.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. So what would that be, like the 737 or something? Like what's the most popular? What plane is that? Let me know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I just guessed. Is it like some little Cessna or something? I actually have no idea. User Raiden428 says, but Linus, a jet will significantly help your son's dating game. Lol. Which I thought was a funny comment.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said,
what will help your son's dating?
User Raiden428 in chat says, Linus, though, a jet will significantly help your son's dating game.
It probably would.
It probably would. What
if instead of a baller car, you could take your dad's jet to prom?
I mean, what? Like just taxi it there?
Sure, yeah.
Like you're not gonna, there's no runway.
You'd like go up in the air, go around in a circle, land, and then take a limo to school. There you go.
My uncle also, kind of opened my eyes to some of the costs that people might not realize are associated with operating a private aircraft. So, for example, when you think of like what the hourly operational cost of flying one of these might be, what would you think of? Like, give me some numbers that would
fuel.
Yeah, your fuel burn rate,
pilots,
your pilot
potentially
salary.
S. We don't know if there's 2 or 1.
Let's say 2.
Okay, so pilots, those are very expensive.
Yeah. Last I checked, pilots are not cheap.
Do you have a stewardess type person?
Not on that one.
If not, is someone like stocking it? Like, is there extra hangar fees of some kind?
So someone who acts as your realistically full-time mechanic / engineer providing maintenance. Yeah, you should probably have one of those.
And the hangar fees in general, I think, should be diluted out over the hours that you fly it for.
Yep, but hangar fees.
Yep.
Yep.
Does it cost money to land at an airport?
So far, we've got a staff that is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 US a year.
Easy.
We've got hangars that's tens of thousands of dollars a year. We've got fuel burn rates that are somewhere in the thousands of dollars an hour.
Disgusting.
What else we got?
Does it cost money to land at an airport?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't actually know.
If you fuel up there, my understanding is that they might discount or waive the fees, but then you might be overpaying for your fuel. So
Yep.
Who knows?
No, maintenance and stuff is already included, chat. I also need to not be reading that.
Nope, it's not.
Oh, we said the maintenance person, didn't we?
Yeah, the person.
Oh, but not the parts.
So here's the thing. There's this program called an MSP, which is a manufacturer service program, I think, something along those lines. But basically, what it amounts to is a cost, usually in the hundreds of dollars an hour, but can reach into thousands of dollars per flight hour, where it's essentially like an insurance program that you pay into, where when your engine comes up for an overhaul or even replacement, the manufacturer of said engine will cover everything. So you ship it out to them, they refurb it, or they send you one that they've already refurbed, and you throw it on there.
There's MSPs in a lot of different industries.
You keep down your basically your maintenance time. And essentially, if you don't have an MSP, you are rolling the dice on
like hardcore
whether you will be able to get replacement parts in a timely manner. You're like how long it's going to be down for maintenance, which is going to cost you a lot more than just paying into your MSP. Managed services program, is that?
Maintenance service plan.
Maintenance service plan. I'm sure every industry has a slightly different, but basically an MSP. Max O Drive says the most popular private was the Learjet 3536, and they made just over 700 of those. Yeah, so if you are not paying into your MSP, and they don't, and the manufacturer, doesn't happen to, just like have parts lying around for you, you're just like, who knows? Who knows? Basically, you're at the mercy of finding one of those other 700 people who bought one of those planes at some point. I was amazed at how small the aviation industry is from kind of talking to him about all of this, how utterly tiny the pool of people who own these planes are.
Oh, yeah.
Because on the other hand, I'll look up some, rando celebrity, and it's like, oh yeah, Jim Carrey has a private plane, or, this or that. And I'm just like, yeah, it seems like every friggin' celebrity and their dog has a stupid, private jet or whatever. But no, the actual ownership pool for these things is flipping tiny. And seeing these ongoing costs, it also kind of gave me some perspective on, why you have people like Jim Carrey saying, yeah, why did I do Sonic 3? Because I needed the money. I guess they just get used to this lifestyle where if you fly between, Vancouver and New York, you're spending, $25,000 one way.
That being said, I think it would be pretty nuts for Jim Carrey to take an economy flight.
Yeah, that's true.
Not because I'm like, a person of his status should take one. I just
oh, he'd just get overrun.
Yeah, it would be insane. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Honestly, it's getting to the point, even at my very limited internet fame, where it's getting to be a bit much. I would always say in the past, I have enough notoriety to know I don't need more. And that was when it was less than it is now. I don't mind if people, come up and take a selfie or whatever. It's it's fine. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate that I get to have the coolest job in the world, and you guys make that possible. But what I will say is that individuals aside, I don't mind the individuals. I appreciate the individuals.
That's when you get mobbed.
Collectively, it is getting to be a little bit much. Like it used to be that if someone walked up and wanted a selfie, we would take a selfie and then I would continue doing whatever it is that I'm doing. Multiple times I have taken my kids for ski lessons the last little while. And when the first person takes the picture, a couple other people stand up nearby and they're like, okay, me too. Now that somebody broke the ice. That's getting to be a bit much. Yeah. I don't have a solution to that other than just like retire. I think if I retired, it would go away extremely quickly though. Like I think I would fade from the collective consciousness really fast compared to like a real celebrity.
I disagree.
Oh, I strongly disagree with what you just said.
I'm practically only on WAN Show. I still get it all the time.
Yeah, but you're still actively on WAN Show. WAN Show has probably almost 20,000 live viewers right now.
People will very often, like I went to the dentist this week and a dude in the lobby recognized me.
I think you're numb to the numbers.
And said that he watched the mineral oil build from forever ago.
Yeah, but I think it would still fade. And remember, but you got to remember too, on top of him watching that build, like you're being brought up from time to time. Like we remember things so much better when we are reminded of them periodically versus if we completely are not reminded of them. I think I'd fade pretty fast.
Yeah, I don't.
Keanu Reeves apparently flies commercial frequently, says Real Avis in YouTube chat, which I'm now closing because I don't look at YouTube chat.
I have also seen like videos of him people noticing him in public and leaving him alone and then seemingly no one bothering him. Like I feel like he chameleons really well somehow. He's
how can you be that cool?
I don't know.
How can anyone be that cool?
I will never be that cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a somewhat of a critical mass of content for you. And memes. Like the memes have incredible reach.
Yeah, but like
there was a Michael Reeves video that came out this week that like your face is randomly in. I got jump scared by it. I was like, what the heck? But it was one of the memes of you.
Oh,
it's just everywhere. Let me go find it.
Oh boy.
I don't know if I can. It's really quick at a random part of his video.
Okay, while he's looking that up, I have a few more plane updates. One of the other things I learned from my uncle is that the amount of things we would be able to modify about the plane are extremely limited. So the way that he broke it down for me, and he basically said, look, I haven't looked that closely at this yet, so this is just my understanding without looking into it in more detail, because he understands that, you know, we're DIY and we want to like do stuff to it. And he's like, okay, I get that. But here's the line as far as I understand. As soon as you take a screw or a bolt and you put it between whatever thing you have and the plane, it has to be certified.
Yeah.
And so...
Which is good.
It's good, but it would seriously limit
it's not good for you.
Our ability to just like put cool stuff in it. You know, like if I wanted to build our own in-flight entertainment system.
Yeah, you'd have to mount it mid-plane instead of on the walls, essentially.
You would have to essentially Velcro it to like the side of the seat.
Yeah.
And like everything would have to be mounted with Velcro or clamps or
and on seats
or temporarily. No, even bolting something to the seat.
Really?
Got to be certified. Yeah, he was telling me.
Oh.
He was telling me he redid the interior of a plane way back in the day when he was working corporate and they were due for a redo. And he's like, look, you got to understand everything from the like G-rated frame to the foam to the surface material. It's all fire rated. Everything about it is designed for minimum flammability because they really don't want fire spreading in these things. And it's like, that makes sense. Mini Spring says, just do French cleats. Sure, but we're going to need a certified French cleat mount. Like anything that gets bolted to the plane is my understanding. Anything bolted to the plane could be trouble. And yes, Plasmator says, the minute you start thinking about weight and balance and how much you want to take with you, you'd be over the idea. Yeah, there you go. So I'm not saying never. I'm just saying...
But yacht.
Not now. That yacht is still for sale.
But yacht.
In spite of us talking about it on WAN Show, the tech yacht
Have you reached out yet?
I haven't.
Are you going to?
I don't know.
I think it would warrant a conversation because he can talk to you like your plane guy talked to you. And I'll tell you, it's way easier to modify a boat. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is very supportive of the tech yacht as well. Actually, I don't see it. Hold on. Is it sold?
There will always be another.
I don't know.
We've got
there it is.
There is no rush for you to get the yacht.
There it is, boys. Here's the yacht.
Also, again, I would say competitive with real estate in Vancouver.
I know, right?
It probably has more bedrooms.
Except the storage fees.
Oh,
dude.
Oh, the storage of the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant storing things on the boat.
Yeah, if boats don't come with a mooring spot these days, you just don't buy them because that's almost harder to get than the boat.
This seems to be moored somewhere.
Yeah, but it might not come with it, but you got to make sure about that. But you should call the guy because the connection to this boat and him and everybody is actually hilarious. I don't know if I informed Luke, but this guy knows like the original owner, the old captain, the boat itself. Call the guy, talk to him, just have a conversation. You don't have to buy the boat. Just have a little sales pitch, sit down, and then I'll get my kick. I mean, and then he can tell you.
Here's my point.
Yeah, that's what you do. You get Reeves's bot to.
You say that I'm underestimating the influence of still being on the WAN show.
Yeah.
I think you're underestimating the influence of you being everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think I'd probably get my privacy back.
It would reduce. Mine
Yeah.
has reduced.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to go away.
Dyslexic Stoner 240 says, Linus, honestly, if you bought a yacht, I would unsubscribe. But Dyslexic Stoner must have tuned into the WAN show late today because I have entered my not giving a phase. So
he bought a badminton center.
Uh-oh, you're spelling it out for them.
No. Badminton centers don't cost money, Luke.
We just pointed out that a house is competitive with the pricing of the yacht. The badminton center is a business.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a business. It's a very profitable business.
You pointed out that it's not necessarily making a ton of money.
No.
The reviews are great.
Yeah, the reviews are great.
Reviews are great. The yacht would be being chartered, though.
Yeah, I would think so.
So it would be a business. Does this now make it acceptable? Is this a trade deal? Can we shake? We need to hear from Dyslexic Stoner.
240.
240, specifically.
Yeah.
Not 420.
Is it okay if it's a business? Because I think the point that Luke was trying to make is that the yacht is... I knew you were kidding, Dyslexic Stoner. You're always in the chat. You're.
No, I'm taking this very seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Someone named Dyslexic Stoner 240 would never be
a memer
making a hee-hee.
I'm full simp, baby.
I think we've talked about this guy a lot. He's come up more than once. I remember that name.
He goes, whew, sorry, I'm high.
I would have never seen that coming.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, I don't know. Like
it'd be so fun to build this thing.
Just get a yacht.
Just get the boat.
Get a boat.
Get a boat.
Just get the boat.
Just call the guy. Just call the guy. Just call the guy.
I mean, it costs nothing to go see it.
Or call the guy. I'm sure.
There's the first step. He's hooked now, boys. It's over. Tech yacht's happening.
It costs nothing to go see it.
If it's a business.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what I fear.
He's got lots of boats, too.
Here's what I fear.
He's got other boats.
In the same way that there's a reason an old corporate jet is under $1 million. What a value.
Why is that Yakuta
I
so
feel
cheap?
like there's a reason that this 123-foot tri-deck yacht is like under $2 million US. Like, what does that even work out to in USD?
Currently called the Sovereign Lady. You could rename it the Gamer Boy.
Apparently, it's really bad luck.
Oh, yeah, you don't do that.
What, to convert to CAD?
to change the name
Oh.
of a boat.
Oh.
1.7 million US dollars. That seems to me, the layperson, like not a lot of money for a 123-foot yacht.
Okay. You really got to qualify that statement.
I did. I qualified the damn statements.
I'm just saying.
Like here, for context, here is another $1.6 million yacht. Look at the size of this thing.
Yeah, but when did that one be birthed?
This is a toy by comparison. It is 57 feet.
Don't get that one.
That's a big boat.
Yeah, it's a big boat.
That's a big boat.
That is half the size of this one.
How many people...
There's an inverse relationship of the cost of the boat to its size. A 60-foot yacht is manageable for somebody that has $2 million to spend on a boat. An 123-foot yacht is not manageable for somebody that has $2 million to spend on a boat.
So that's exactly it.
The main stuff is expensive.
Clearly,
But
this
if
thing
you're
is so old that anyone who could afford
it's so big.
the upkeep of it could afford a better yacht. That's the thing. So I would basically be buying something that nobody else could ever want, that I couldn't even give away, because it costs so much to maintain that anyone who could possibly maintain it couldn't possibly want it. It's like owning a beautiful, gilded golden house, the most beautiful house, but it's
it
in
rains
Mission.
sometimes. Oh,
Yeah. It's in Mission.
Yeah.
And not the good part of Mission. I'm kidding. Mission. There's no good part of Mission.
They're trying.
I was going to say.
They're trying.
Okay.
Not very hard.
There is one. No, there's one good part of Mission.
When you leave?
Carly Rae Jepsen. And she left.
She's from Mission?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wow.
I know.
All right, they get one. This is good questions to ask the guy. Why is this boat so cheap? Tell me about boats.
Maybe you should go see him and ask.
You should talk to him.
Wouldn't it just be fun? I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go.
He can take you around the boats.
I've never been
He's
on a yacht.
He's a really good dude.
All right.
Call the guy.
Call the guy.
All right. Okay. All right. Content. No. That's not how that works.
This is not content.
That's definitely not content.
This is a serious
I
discussion.
think you got to look at what is the desired outcome. How many computers, how many people do you want to be able to sleep on it or whatever?
He can also talk to you about the economics of actually running it as a business and chartering it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Which matters because
this is why he's the guy, because it's all about the chartering, right?
Yeah.
In the off season, a boat like this goes for $60,000 a week. Mm-hmm. Like right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but who gets it though? Like who?
Exactly. This
Like,
is
who
why you
pays
talk
that?
to the dude guy.
Okay. So Luke, what would we do?
What up?
Obviously, the upper deck here, you kind of leave that as is. That's the party zone. That's the hot tub zone. That's sick. That's awesome.
Maybe add some RGB or something.
Oh, all the RGB.
Some aesthetic
all the
changes,
RGB.
but we're not making this part the LAN area.
Okay. In here, I think you make this like board game land. You know,
Okay.
that kind of gaming.
Okay.
Okay. Simple, because this looks like the under
So it's
deck.
not just a video game yak.
No, it's gaming.
It's
yacht.
gaming in general yak.
Gaming yacht. Okay. I think for me personally, but I don't know anything about this, so maybe he'd tell me what an incredibly crazy idea this is, but I would actually probably reduce the bedroomness of it. I would probably want to convert some of the bedroom spaces into more gaming spaces.
That's a good question for the chartering side of it, because
Yeah.
we want to still make sure that you can charter it.
So instead of like a room where you can smash, we'd have the smash room.
Yes.
So you'd have like a big TV and a switch, you know?
Different kind of switch.
Yeah.
Oh.
You'd probably want to keep like the main bedroom, you know? You'd probably need to keep like a crew's quarters of some sort, right? But beyond that, I would look at this and I would say, no, this is more of like a we go out for a little cruise and we game, we rent it for like a bit, as opposed to like we go on an expedition kind of renovation.
Yeah, what if you do like bunk bed room?
Yeah. Obviously you wouldn't be able to like, the TVs would need to go. Coming up with, I think there's like 6 bedrooms in this thing.
I don't think you need a TV in the bedroom.
6 staterooms.
Oh, wow.
So coming up with like a new unique purpose for each one of them, you could do themes.
Oh, dude.
You could do themes.
The Switch room, the Xbox room.
Yeah, or like the Mario room,
PC
or like
room.
whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, like you could do themed rooms.
This could legitimately be sick.
Obviously, we'd have to.
That is a multi-monitor setup.
We'd have to find some balance between, adding some tech to it, but also, not messing around with stuff that's good, because 100%. This stuff is friggin' expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And whatever's in here, it's probably good enough.
Yep.
To navigate.
Probably don't want to touch this room almost at all.
Yeah.
This is where you drive.
Other than make it like, I don't know, cool. We could put some RGB strips around the top or something.
Yeah. You just don't want it
I
also
don't think
to be
you would want very many people in there, actually.
Annoying for the cat.
No, I'm kidding.
You can still do something.
Sure. We could put an RGB gaming keyboard on the computer in there. Anyway. Sure. In here, this is where like the fun happens. This is where you create like an ultimate lounge. Maybe you mount you get rid of some of these windows. You mount like a Samsung the wall here.
Get rid of the couches.
Well, no, you'd still want couches.
You want chairs, right?
No, not down here. That would be.
I think I'm
up
consistently
here.
forgetting the absurd scale of this boat.
130-foot boat is absolutely bonkers.
Colossal.
How many floors is it?
3. So that was, I believe that was downstairs that you were just looking at. No, up here is the PC gaming. This is the game, like the PC LAN area.
There's probably a 4th floor as well where the crew staterooms would be. They might hide them away, but normally there is another like in the bowels of the ship where they have little tiny bunk beds that your actual crew would sleep on.
Right.
Because this would be a staffed boat.
Asking is this still available will be ignored.
That's so funny.
So anyway, power consumption would be a major concern in our build.
Yeah.
Especially if we had large scale displays, we'd have to do something to make sure. I would actually be very interested if anyone is working on a Ryzen AI Max like desktop, like a mini desktop. I would be very interested in this, because that right there is the GPU and IO, and these right here are the compute dies. This thing is crazy.
I feel like you'd want like
super
one
power efficient
spectacle computer.
Oh, definitely. Like on the if you had like an LED wall or something like that, yeah, you'd have something from like Origin PC or Main Gear or whatever, like
that's
Puget.
Just crank.
That's like tricked out.
Yeah. But the LAN PCs.
No, they could be. I think they could be like Ryzen AI Max.
Totally, I think so. Yeah.
Because you'd want maximum power efficiency. Stockotato says Jackery sponsor, dude. Honestly, though. Getting sponsorships for this project series, easy.
Yeah.
Like, easy. Because it's so cool. People don't do this. Nobody else does this.
Gaming yacht.
As long as you don't touch the frame, my understanding is you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Or hear me out.
I mean, that seems reasonable.
Actually, no, I'm not going to talk
compared
about
to a plane.
Maybe weight distribution to a very minor degree.
Yeah, maybe. It's 130 foot. What are you going to put in there? Lead?
Good point.
Right? It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be careful with like waste and water and stuff like that. But most of the time it's like, I don't know.
Could we cool the PCs with seawater? That's what I want to know.
I was going to.
Yeah, I mean, you totally could with heat exchange.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it might gum up the works because, seawater. Like, I don't know.
Water is used for cooling.
You should have like gaming mode where it like deploys the radiators down into the water, and then like some solar panels like fold out from the roof, and it like deploys like a StarCraft 2 like siege tank.
I understand.
That'd be so sick.
So we go immobile, and our like solar panels on the top, like
yeah.
And then the giant seawater radiators descend into the.
yeah.
Whoa, I'm getting the willies. This is awesome.
That'd be so sick.
That's not what people usually mean by willies, Dan. It has nothing to do with your willy.
Well, I'm trying to keep it family friendly.
Is Vito says, would you paint the boat? Well, we better. anything you store in the water, in the ocean, you're going to be painting on
I also think that's
pretty
a
regular basis.
fantastic opportunity for a sponsor collab.
Oh, dude.
D-brand?
Good D-brand.
D-brand wrapped my boat.
Ugh.
We have a... do I even want to say it? We have a... I don't know if I... We have a wrapped in the way that your car originally was skin on this boat. Kind of hilarious.
Dude.
It would be kind of hilarious.
It is hard to get a sense of the scale of this thing. This right
I
here.
think I'm struggling with
this right here. Okay? That is this. This thing is a floating freaking house.
There's a grill there. That'd be sick.
I know.
I could see you flipping burgers during a LAN
Dude.
on a yacht.
Oh, it doesn't
I
have
love
the
flipping burgers.
geosynchronous ones. Some of them have galleys that have them on a little like hinge, so that when the ship lists from side to side, the grill stays upright, or the stove or the range in the galley.
We'd have to get one of
I
those.
feel like we could do that.
Yeah.
We'd have to get one of those.
Although a boat this size, it actually probably doesn't matter because it's not going to list as much.
Yeah,
like-
this thing is freaking huge.
Like,
Kind of depends where you go.
how wide is the WAN set? I think it's like
WAN on the yacht?
oh,
no,
dude, I'm on a boat.
Do you want to do WAN on
I'm
the
on a
yacht?
boat.
The title makes itself.
Yacht WAN.
Yacht
Yeah.
WAN.
After dark is just when it gets late.
No, I was thinking of like the distance between 101 and 105, and if that was even 130 feet.
Oh,
really?
Like how wide
Yeah.
are these buildings?
Oh my.
130 feet is a big thing. It's like actually horrifying how large a 130-foot boat is.
I think this would be a mistake. More fast says, OMG, phone the guy already. Pull the trigger.
Just call the guy. Go.
I'll go see it.
He will take you.
That's maybe unnecessarily big.
I'll go see it.
130 feet is a big boat.
I feel
That's
like we
why
can
I was going to
accomplish
say
a lot of this.
You
without-
know, you get a 60-foot boat for $2.5 million. 130 foot is just too much boat.
Tell me this, Dan. Tell me this.
Yes.
How do they transport this on land? Does it just never go to land again?
Normally, you just put it on a larger ship. There are boats that carry boats, and they sink into the water, then pick up the boat.
Okay, tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to dry dock it while we were working on it, is that a thing even?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, how? Like, could we move it inland, or does it have to be like...
Yeah, you could probably put it on a trailer. That would cost a lot of money. But it's very few places that can deal with 130. But there are places. There are larger boats than this.
I mean, there's boats that are designed so that they can like partially sink themselves to get under other boats and then raise back up out of the water and move them away.
It's probably not going to be
They look
like
crazy.
around here, maybe on the island. I don't exactly know.
So you're saying that in order...
AJ might move here if we get a tech yacht. The ice cream machine didn't do it. The cookie didn't do it. Maybe tech yacht.
Okay.
I'm just
Sick.
looking.
We got it.
I'm looking for a reference here because I think that I'm right in this. If you just give me a second.
Okay.
Here.
Moving it is content. Oh my God.
Actually, probably would be a very interesting.
Yeah, because like realistically, we're going to want to do so much stuff to it that I wouldn't want to like go down to the marina for our shoot every day. Like, it would actually be convenient to have it way closer to here.
For reference, you guys have both been to Smash Champs.
Yeah.
It is as long as there are the 7 courts. It will fit in Smash Champs, one of the halls. That is how long the boat is.
Oh, that's too big.
That's gotta be unnecessary. Everything that we listed out that you wanted to do, I'm pretty sure we can do.
Oh, it'll do everything.
In a
And sleep
significantly
4
smaller boat.
staff members. Call the guy.
I don't know if I should call the guy. That might just be too big. 100. Yeah, I really
I feel like you should call the guy just to see it because a lot of that space is probably.
The other thing is that he's not
wasted
just
on
that
things like
boat.
engine.
He has loads of boats, and he could show you different ones and give you advice
Go
and
see the
maybe
guy.
help you make a recommendation or just talk to him.
Just have a fun day and go see the guy.
You don't even have to see him. Just have a conversation.
Well, no, I'm gonna go see.
Go
the
see
boat.
the guy.
Go see the boat.
And the boat.
Okay, I'll go see the guy.
Yeah.
I'll go see the boat. I'll go see the boat.
Because even if you don't end up doing it, like whatever, that's cool. I don't know. That's fun. You gotta do fun things. Linus's version of fun is like I'm gonna stay home and look at my TV.
Look at my TV.
No, he's going to be in the same room as his TV and then reading comments on his phone.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. I'm going to be upset because my family wants to watch the upstairs TV and I want to watch the downstairs TV. Ugh.
They want to watch the TV in the main galley when they could.
A boat.
Yeah, go look at a boat.
But it was so much work to build the downstairs theater room. Why don't they want to watch them there?
Maybe they'll watch it when you're out on your boat. Maybe they just want
That would be the time they chose.
I will say this. The wife approval factor of boat is
Low.
much lower than wife approval factor of tech plane. I can't explain why. Like it's not like because it's a secret. I'm just telling you that when I have had these conversations,
But tech plane doesn't
Yvonne
sound like
gets
it's going to
seasick.
be real.
she literally can't even set foot on this thing.
on an 130-foot boat?
She
Cruise ship?
she gets seasick on like the BC ferries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like no,
Yeah.
she gets seasick.
Yeah.
People are like, tech plane is boring though. Yeah, the tech boat. Willing Spy says boats get you laid. Dude, I'm married.
Still work? You can get laid within your relationship.
Okay.
That's a lie, Luke. We all know that.
Look, I
Works okay?
have no comment now or ever on the traditionality or non-traditionality of mine and Yvonne's sexual relationship.
Wait, you're supposed to get laid when you're in a relationship?
No comment.
Why nobody tell me this? I gotta make some calls.
No comment. I think it's time for WAN After Dark.
I feel like we've been in that mode for a minute. But, you know.
Call the guy.
Call the guy.
I think it'll be fun. You don't even have to go see it. Just talk.
All right.
Call the guy.
Okay, WAN After Dark.
WAN After Dark.
Could you get like a more cargo-inspired plane and then have less issues with...
Sure, if I
Putting
wanted
stuff
to
on it?
pay for hauling around a giant cargo plane.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh.
The fuel burn is just... Yeah. Like some of those corporate jets, they're like a little arrow.
Little tiny little...
Just firing through the air. Like that's how you keep the prices down. Yes, we're only now getting to WAN After Dark. Sorry.
You know, Linus was really worried about the amount of topics on the show, which automatically meant it was going to be a fun and long WAN show.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, I brainstormed some stuff
the
before
rule
show.
of the universe.
You good, Dan?
Blink.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Hello, LLD. I just turned 13 and I'm going to Micro Center for the first time
Oh,
tomorrow.
sick.
Nice.
Any recommendations for a first visit? Also, what do you think the future of Mac gaming is? Will it improve?
I mean, I think it'll improve. Whether it improves materially enough to make a difference, that I don't have a crystal ball that'll tell me. As for recommendations for a first visit, I would say, look around, see everything. You don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
I always loved just like hanging out at the computer store.
No, seriously, when my mom was headed into town near a Future Shop or a Best Buy or something, she would usually tell me and we'd go walk around for like 10, 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
I would want to go with her on the trip just so I could do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was cool.
But you don't have to buy anything.
No, I would buy generally nothing. Oh, surprise, surprise. But I would go to the keyboards.
Yeah. See stuff, experience it, and then fester before you actually spend any money.
Especially experience it. The reason why I said the keyboards is because you can shop around online as much as you want, but until you feel the switches, you're not going to know which one you like the most. It doesn't matter how many times people describe them. You got to feel it out to know what you're going to want. And that doesn't mean buy a keyboard at all. But like, it's a cool thing to be able to do that in person. And if I remember correctly, you can do that at a Micro Center. I've never actually been to one. They don't have them in Canada. But yeah, if you can actually experience stuff in person, it's a fairly unique experience. People are saying, yes, you can. Yeah, that's sweet, man. I would take that opportunity.
Hey, Linus, I've noticed that the segue to our sponsor has evolved into just an obnoxious catchphrase lately. I miss when they were clever, topical jokes. Is this something you've noticed as well?
They've always been just taking the piss.
The more you think things have changed, the more they've stayed the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do it in a bit more of a creative way, and other times we are just completely self-referential about it. Sometimes they are intentionally terrible. Sometimes there'll be one that's better that the writer has written, and I'll be in a mood and I'll make it way worse.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
That definitely sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yellow, Dinus, Lan, and Luke. Why are server chassis so expensive? They are less flashy than most normal consumer cases, but often twice the price. Finding cheap racks also sucks.
Oh, I mean, I can tell you that. It's because there's so much more metal in them. They've got to be rigid because the way they slide them in and out, they got to come with rails.
It's also just enterprise stuff.
It's also lower volume. Like when you buy a $40 computer case off of Newegg or whatever, they're making hundreds of thousands of those things. When you buy like a server chassis, I mean, you don't even really get to buy server chassis from very many companies. Most of them are just, they're doing integration now. Like, I don't know, thousands they might make. Like I couldn't give you an exact idea of what the volumes are, but they're definitely very, very different. And anytime you're buying, so also the intention, you know, most people who buy a server are doing it with some kind of business intent. And there's just automatically a markup for that. Anytime your product is helping someone else make money, their value calculus for that product becomes very different than if they're just, you know, using it to consume water or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Hey, finally needed to get the stick locks. Glad you still carry them after all this time. How do you decide which LTTStore items are to live perpetually on the store?
Well, those we just produced too many because our cost on them was pretty low, and we were like, oh yeah, these should do well. And then they did well, but not that well, and so we still have them. If you see something on the store that you like and it's in stock, you should buy it. Because a lot of the time, even if we did want to reorder it, like with the indoor hoodie was a nightmare because our situation with the existing manufacturer was not tenable, and sourcing that material again was impossible.
Is what it is.
Yep. So if you see something you like, just get it.
Luke, as an 8 Sleep owner, what are your thoughts on companies removing features after purchase, referring to the removal of support for Home Assistant and requiring internet to function at all?
8 Sleep.
My ownership and usage of it is not an endorsement of it. I think
Nor
that's
is mine.
very endorsement. You still use one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't work with them anymore though, as LMG. So that's just my personal 8 Sleep mattress.
We are both, mine is a personal one as well. I bought it. We are both boys who tend to burn at night.
With ladies who tend to freeze.
My quality of life is improved by having it. I will not tell you to buy one. I do not appreciate their business practices. I do not appreciate the way that they use their software. I do not appreciate the closed sourceness of it. Someone messaged me in Full Plane Chat last week saying that there's an open source thing where somebody found a way to get around it and unlock those features anyways. Maybe look into something like that. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Mine, to be honest, I have it cranked to be as cold as it can possibly be 100% of the time, and that is the best thing it could possibly be for me. So I don't need it. I don't know. It's not an endorsement. I almost like regret that people know that I have one, because I think that people know that I have one and then assume that it's an endorsement, and it's not.
Hi, WAN.dll. Yay, trade wars. Luke, any cool factory tours you've gone on recently or have scheduled?
I don't know if we can talk about the one we have scheduled. Can we talk about that?
I think so. I think we can't say when.
Do you want to double check that we can talk about it before we talk about it?
I'm rather certain we can talk about it. We just can't say when.
Okay.
And the details.
Sure.
But we can say like where.
Sure.
So going back to NASA, and I'm bringing other people, more different people, and that includes Sir Linus here. And it's going to be
no
great.
video. Don't get your hopes up.
No video. It is not content. But
it will make me content.
This will be the...
Give me the thing.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure this is the first trip we've ever been on that isn't work. Together.
Holy crap. That's sort of terrible.
A little bit.
That's kind of embarrassing,
A little
actually.
bit. I think it's true, though.
I think you might be right. Oh, dude, that's
That's a little rough. That's not great. You had kids. It makes sense. I'm not that worried about it.
What's your excuse?
What do you mean? What do you mean? But yeah, that'll be exciting. I'm going to try to link up with some dude who has wheat fields, and I want to go run the combine. That's going to happen later this year.
You're
ideally.
not going to like scythe mow or something, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. But I want to drive the combine. I think that would be sick. There's another dude that invited me to go.
You're actually going to play Farming Simulator in real life. That is an actual goal.
Yeah. Dan and I were talking earlier today about how, like, sometimes things get really complicated. You just want to do something dramatically different. Like there's this old joke that like an ideal day for a programmer would be 4 days of like hardcore coding in the morning and then just like move boxes for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like you want to shift what your brain is working on, what your body's working on, etc. And I had this thought after that conversation of like, I think I've really identified the thing that I like doing when I take vacation, which is just other work, but like very different. Like I'm very excited to go run the combine for a while. That sounds great. That's like peak possible thing that I could do on a vacation.
Just don't get murdered by Gordon Freeman.
No, yeah, it should be fine.
Luke needs to return to Monkey. I think you're not doing enough like actual physical things. You're not exuding your will into the universe. You're just kind of making computers do stuff.
Yeah. We were talking about digging a ditch and I got excited.
Yeah, digging a ditch is a great example.
That sounds sick. I don't want to do this every day.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it every day.
Sometimes
but man, if I can go do that for a week and like just really get into it for a week, like
this is a very white collar work type person.
Yeah, these are very white collar world problems.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely.
The masculine urge to dig a hole, says Touquet.
But actually,
that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about digging a ditch.
Do that stuff because I just have meetings.
Linus is addicted to comments and Luke is addicted to work.
Linus being addicted to comments is Linus being addicted to work, just to be clear.
Anywho, moving on.
Yeah.
Hello, LLD. Linus, my Harmony remote and hub died.
No.
I'm looking for a replacement. You mentioned testing the Sofa Baton X1.
Sofa Baton
X1. Any updates or new recommendations?
Okay.
Have you tried SwitchBots?
I tried it and I found the setup process so obtuse that I resolved to just eBay a Harmony. But I did not invest significant time into it, and realistically, the Harmony setup is pretty obtuse too. So make of that what you will. My answer is no, I don't have a recommendation. And no, I haven't tried SwitchBot's new remote. But we do have a video coming on just kind of building a brain dead simple media setup for Smash Champs so that customers can use it and play Switch games and tune into badminton matches and stuff on the TV in the lounge. Elijah's working on it, so maybe it'll include some of these things, or maybe it won't. I don't know. I'll find out about a week or two before you guys do when we film the video.
I just suggested a HDMI switching box, but well. Let's see. Hey, DLL. I recently was promoted to a manager at the toy store I work at, and I'm curious to know if any of you have any advice for something new, someone new to a management and leadership position.
You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them accordingly.
Your job is not really to be better than all the people that you manage. Your job is to use them as well as you can.
Your job is to make their lives easier so that they can do the best they can do.
Don't
Your
do
job,
their job for them. Don't micro it.
Yeah.
Evening, boys. Linus, I just got my S25 Ultra yesterday, and I'm mostly loving it. How are you feeling about the switch back from iOS?
I haven't yet. Samsung does not let us keep devices that they seed us, so I don't actually have one yet. So that one went back to Samsung.
Hello, best Luke, best Dan, and second best Linus on YouTube. Why?
Which Linus is better?
Probably Torvald.
Some of the hockey players are pretty cool.
He said on YouTube, though.
Yeah, there's a couple hockey players.
Everyone's on YouTube at least
everyone's
once.
on YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough.
Why are CPUs and motherboards sold separately instead of being soldered together? Do you think this will ever become the norm despite the backlash?
I mean, you can buy ones that are soldered. You can, especially on like Chinese marketplaces where they'll have like mobile chips that are manufactured onto desktop boards and stuff. In some markets, they are quite popular. I am looking at the way the winds are blowing. We actually did a video a little while back. Buy it or build a computer while you still can.
Yeah, it made me sad.
This is a good conversation about the direction things are going and how, with RAM speeds going up and signal integrity being a challenge and tighter integration continuing to be advantageous from both a cost and performance and also even an economic perspective, it does feel like a matter of time before they come fully integrated.
It's going to be a sad day. Maybe. Linus, are you still using the Asus 27-inch 4K OLED at home from the video a few weeks ago, or did you switch back to something larger?
I am still using it. I am tempted sometimes to switch to something larger, especially, like, I haven't fired up Anno lately, and part of the reason is that my monitor is kind of too small. Like, I love having my world laid out in front of me. I mean, I guess I could play upstairs where I still have a 42-inch monitor, but I do most of my gaming downstairs now because my kids are down there. Like wherever like my kids are, I want to be near. I want to be, hanging out. So no, I'm still using the 27-inch. I think the sweet spot for me was more like the Xeneon Flex. That's a really nice size. What size is that thing again? Xeneon Flex. I want to say like 38-inch. 45. That's a 45-inch display. That thing is sick. I could also probably do 32 at 4K. That's what Plouffe uses, and that's a really nice size too. 27 is feeling a little small, but you can't fault the picture clarity. Man, that pixel density, crazy. Wait. Oh, I got totally confused. No, the one I'm running is actually the one from the previous Asus video, the 1440p 480 hertz or 500 hertz one or whatever. Sorry. So that's why I haven't changed it out, is because the high refresh rate is crazy. The reason I was thinking 4K 240 is because we have a video coming shot in my basement earlier this week where we were looking at a 4K 240 hertz that is still there, but no, I will be swapping it out for the 500 hertz. Sorry. Yeah, 27 inches is feeling a little small these days though. But 500 hertz, man, it's wild. It's wild.
Okay, odd question, but hear me out. Since Linus has impeccable taste in painting cars, I was wondering what color he should suggest I paint my car. It's a 1998 color, currently silver JDM Subaru Legacy.
What? I don't even know what this car is. JDM Legacy. Okay. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Is this it? Oh man, that's a cool car. What would I?
Pink and green.
Oh, come on, like we can
Pink
do
and
better.
green.
We can do better than that.
I love the
Somebody with this car will paint it whatever color you suggest, so do be careful.
keeping the Subaru classic like gold rims. So you need a color that
Yeah.
accents the gold rims well.
Oh man. See, that's why we went purple on Plouffe's, because I thought the purple and gold look was royal AF.
Purple would probably look
I think
really sick.
purple.
You
would be
gotta keep the
amazing.
gold rims though. I feel like
Yeah.
that's like you gotta do
Ooh,
that.
Shu Azian says emerald green. That's not bad either.
That would probably be sick.
Especially if you get some flake in there.
Ooh.
You could do like a purple to green, like pearlescent.
That's expensive though. I don't want to recommend somebody buy that. That's just a lot of money.
But if they did want to spend the money,
I'm going to say purple or emerald green with the flake. It's going to be like a dark purple though. All right. Hit me, Dan.
hi DLL, looking forward to yoga pants for my spouse.
Heck yeah.
So many out there suck, and your team makes great shiz. Linus, how do you feel about live action How to Train Your Dragon movie?
I haven't kept up with anything. I saw the initial trailer, and then that's realistically the most I want to know about a movie that I'm going to watch. So I'm going to intentionally cloister. Is that the one? Cloister myself? Whatever. I'm gonna avoid it. It looks like they're staying very true to the original. No, it's not. Sequester?
Yeah,
No, not
Cloister,
Sequester.
the mollusk Pokemon.
Such a red reference.
You people aren't even trying to be helpful. Sure, let's go
When
with-
have we ever?
Oh man.
Anyway, I'm avoiding any information about it. I will watch it. It feels like kind of unnecessary, especially because the original is perfect. It's a perfect movie. It's the best movie, but I'll watch it and hopefully they don't ruin it too bad. It looks like it's pretty true to the original.
Should I see How to Train Your Dragon, Linus? The last movie you recommended me
What?
was not fun.
What movie did I recommend you?
The Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah, but I recommended it to you because it was terrible. Wait, you've never seen How to Train Your Dragon?
I have not.
Oh, it's a perfect movie. It's it's literally the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got one more here. Luke, have you tried Stalker? I know you enjoy Tarkov, but hate the cheaters and company. Tarkov took a lot of inspiration from Stalker. I highly recommend Stalker 2 or Gamma. Don't know what the Gamma is.
If I remember correctly, Gamma is a really heavily modded Stalker. Stalker Gamma. Yeah,
Oh, it's a
Stalker
mod.
Anomaly mod. Yeah, but
Sick.
it's like the way to play that game as far as my understanding goes.
Get out of here, Gamma.
Um
That's what the titular Stalker character says to the radiation people.
Dan's losing it. I've been recommended Stalker like a trillion times. I never played it when I was younger, and honestly, the graphics look pretty rough to go back to. I might at some point. I was very interested in the new Stalker game coming out, but then whatever it's called, Stalker is supposed to have this really cool AI system. Oh my goodness, saying that these days puts the wrong idea in people's heads.
Is Shadow of Chernobyl the first one?
That rings a
I
bell.
believe that's the full title.
I'm
It's
just
been a
looking at the
long-
graphics.
Long time.
Yeah, this seems like kind of Half-Life 2.
Yeah, it's pretty old. Gamma is quite modded, and even Gamma looks pretty old.
I mean, maybe if there's like an RTX remix for it or something.
I would definitely jump on that. The new Stalker looks really cool, but there's this NPC AI system thing where it's supposed to be like the way that I got it explained to me is that your actions, even very small ones, are supposed to quake through the NPCs in the world very heavily.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as my understanding goes, that wasn't working on release of the new Stalker game. So I've been kind of just biding my time for it to be good.
And I've been biding my time to tell you guys, hey, we'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye!
I have to pee again. How come WAN's been crashing on Facebook?